Railroad.
Abaddon, I want you to roll another check relative to the water vehicles. This is where we'll actually start and get into the thing. So you guys have gone for like a couple hours. You guys aren't quite there. You guys have been discussing things. Normalist did his whole important sequence of sorts, and now has actually no. Wait. Abaddon doesn't know. So Abaddon. So actually, to what extent do you know Abaddon before we kind of get into it? Because I knew you guys did talk a bit in the RP. Are you fully aware of what their current visuals?
Currently, Abaddon is just what's it called? I guess he woke up after hearing the absolutely agonizing screams, and the last thing I remember is that Nornless has a very, very bloody eye, and is ready to help us with whatever we need to do in our quests.
Okay, just to confirm, since I know there might have been like a pseudo retcon, Normless, is your eye real bloody, or is a new eye now in you?
The new eye's in me.
Okay. So, in this case, did you tell them what it was? Normless?
Technically, yes, no. I didn't have to. Unfortunately, Kodran did that for us.
Okay.
I think Kodran said it was the Eye of Mimir.
Do you remember what that was?
Abaddon?
Do you know do you remember what that was, Abaddon? If you don't, that's okay, and that works out really well.
It's the Eye of Odin.
Okay, you didn't know. Okay. I was 50-50 if you missed it, and okay. Okay, but at this point, the main idea is that his eye's a little bloody, but it's now kind of shining through now at this point. And it is, well, as I described last session, rather beautiful, has some almost runic like imagery opaque within part of it, albeit the iris itself is still stunning. And it is a not quite a full-on Igor situation, but it might be slightly larger than his other eye. It's not too deeply noticeable now that it's in the socket, though. So while this is happening, while that all occurred, Abaddon, would you have gone back to trying to steer a ship and such, or would you not do that and rely on someone else to do that?
I think by now it will be my turn again.
Okay.
By the way, I full on intend for Abaddon to just be narcoleptic, like.
Okay.
Just an explanation for why I fall asleep so much.
So, I would. Okay, so in that case, roll the Did you do the roll?
Yet.
I don't know if you put it in your character sheet or not. You can put it under like Yeah, I'll make you one if you don't have it already. Yeah, tool proficiencies and. Wait, would you just put it on tool proficiency or just a normal proficiency?
Yeah, not the tool proficiencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just put like, yeah.
Vehicles are considered tools.
And I think we just what role did we start on? Like Dex?
That's not what I wanted to do.
I think we determined it would be dexterity or strength plus proficiency at the moment.
Here we go. You were looking at the like armor and stuff. You have a tool proficiency right above here. I just made you one. Do you see it?
Sick.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't see it. Oh, there. Oh, fuck, I want advantage.
Well, when you accidentally roll with advantage, you just take the first roll.
I'm gonna lie, I was gonna be marginally disappointed if the battle map wasn't just all blue then.
Yep.
17.
Yeah, it's all blue. Yeah, if I just went to a battle map and just showed them now at the coast, I feel like that would be kind of shitty given there's still some hours before they get there. Okay. So, you guys are doing things. And Abaddon, this time you kind of get it back on the course, and you guys are a decent check to get to the island. Sorry if I'm kind of doing this awkwardly, but one thing I would like to make clear of that I kind of mentioned that I was originally going to mention a little bit prior, and I did mention to Mortar a little bit before that, but you guys, as you're sailing towards the island, there's two main things of note, or there's a couple of things of note. I would like all of you to roll perception checks.
Happily.
Or if you have a high passive perception, like around 17 or 18, you can use that.
I have 18, so I may use that.
29.
Hot damn! What's your mod?
12.
Oh right, yeah, you have a
Wait.
new eye. Jesus Christ! I thought mine was crazy at a +8.
You might want to also have that affect your. No, it should probably won't actually affect your passive perception.
It does.
much.
Okay.
It
You just wanted
affects
to roll
it.
So-
flex.
Oh yeah, my passive is currently 17.
Ha! I'm still better than you at something.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not proficient in perception. If I was, it'd be a little nuttier.
I
That
wouldn't be
gets level-
surprised if the eye gave you perception proficiency.
Nah, with that everything it already gave me regarding perception, that'd be OP.
I don't know what it
Okay.
did.
So, to start out, before I say these things, I would just like you guys to keep a fact in mind in terms of, so if you're on a boat or if you're on like a coast, because of the curvature of the Earth, or this is not a flat Earth, at least it doesn't appear to be, or you guys wouldn't have heard that. You guys can see around 3 miles or so out. However, it's something in the sky or something's in the farther up. It kind of more vary a little bit. But generalistically, like along the horizon, you can see around 3 miles out. Firstly, this has been like a couple hours. I would say that some of you can notice, way in the distance, back towards the port. Let me actually look at the map a little bit. Well, actually not. So actually, let me restart this. Firstly, somewhere in distance to the south, you see something in the sky that looks oval-like. It's kind of more, from your perspective, it's like in the south, a little to the southwest. It seems like it's farther south than Mount Flager. And it appears to be an oval with something below it in the sky. I'll let it's far enough that you can't really make out too many great details. And I would say most of you would, I mean, if people roll fairly poor, they would notice it, whatever. Other than that, people that are particularly high with this would be able to tell that the oval shape and the smaller thing, it seems to be the smaller thing might be of a different substance or material than the oval shape. It's possible it's overall this doesn't look like a dragon or something, or it doesn't seem like a big bird. It likely is some type of, if this is even possible, perhaps a man-made vehicle of some kind, or perhaps is like maybe like, I don't know, like a whale in the sky or some type of, you aren't really sure. You think it probably isn't, is some kind of like rainbow-like object or some type of atmospheric like substance like thing.
Norwis is a relatively studied individual. Doesn't look like anything he's read of in tales of hot air balloons.
Do either intelligence or arcana.
Okay.
Arcana feels a little weird to you here, but I think it will work.
Do we exist in a time period where we have hot air balloons?
That
Yeah,
answer,
anything's
what he rolls,
possible.
I'll give you that. I'll say that there is he
You're
has enough justification to
pause,
mention the
pause.
existence of hot air
Don't tell
balloons.
me anything. I rolled a nat 1. I'm really upset.
Okay.
Also,
know-
hot air
in that
balloons have been
case-
around since 1783, so there's
Yeah.
a chance that
You
people
know,
have
hot air
invented them by
balloons are
now.
not terribly advanced, honestly.
Yeah, that's
Figured they
why
would be.
I looked at. I had to look that up before I discussed any of this because I wanted to confirm to see if it was like something that would be realistic or not within the
That
context.
is fine. Norlis does not know anything about this, and we
Yeah.
are
So
pushing forward.
you like aren't even you know the term hot air balloon. You know that exists. You
And
don't
that's
think it's
all.
prevalent, and you have no clue if that's that or anything else.
Gotcha.
Okay.
He stares at it very curiously.
Okay. In addition, I would say that you guys can see there seems to be some boats that are going out of Vetberg. They're pretty far back, so it's hard to make out too many of them. One looks like a little bit of a light blue, and you don't remember seeing one like that. And another looks to be kind of large, and looks like that large, possibly Flager ship that some of you were on. Or not on, but well, actually one of you technically was, but some of you had looked at.
Are they moving in
In
our
addition-
direction?
They look like they're moving generally like either south or west, around maybe southwest. So in that case, somewhat. It's hard to tell definite, but they tend to be moving somewhat southwest, possibly more south. It's hard to tell specifics, but like just because of how far they are. Finally, a little north of your position, you guys see what looks to be well, first of all, there are some islands north of you, northwest of you more so. They're rocky outcroppings. They're kind of decently. They're not tiny. They're of decent size, but there's nothing really there of note. So much so that like when the party was in Vala, they didn't. It was mainly the volcano they were kind of looking at. The other stuff beforehand was not of great significance. However, there's another rock of sorts that's much smaller that you guys quickly realize isn't a rock, as it appears to submerge. Those that
Turtle.
got higher than got like it's like a 17 or higher.
I rolled a 29.
You
My
would say
past was 18.
okay. Hazel, you think that thing looks like a shell, and a big shell.
Mm-hmm.
What do I think? I rolled a
Moralist,
29.
you think that's a turtle shell,
Okay.
and a big turtle shell.
There was talk about a turtle. Can you refresh my memory on... Was a turtle sinking ships?
There was some belief that or rumors going on that there was a turtle that was sinking some ships out here. There was, before all this, I would say Abaddon would know this, and also for other reasons, I think it's possible that Hazel would know this. But there had been... Okay, Abaddon, I'll start with Abaddon's viewpoint. Abaddon, when you were back in Vala and whatnot, I believe there were rumors and stuff you had heard about there basically, or more so, not even heard, just seen, there weren't any ships from Flagerberg going up the Tarkel River for a little while. And it wasn't clear to you if that was due to just happenstance, the volcano, or something else. However, during a fateful day, I want to say it was... I think the day before you guys met Nornalis, you guys were traveling to Vala and then were going to travel farther, and you saw, and Mortar would also have seen this, and same with Victorion, a dragon and something else fighting in the bay, and that other thing never really fully submerged, but given circumstance and other rumors, that thing may have been a dragon turtle. And given Torion learned later about the movement of the dragons, that other dragons seem to have moved farther south, possibly, well farther than the farther south of Mount Thager. That's all I need to say. Sorry for that long bit, but I want to get all three of those bits out on the table.
No worries.
All good.
Lads, I believe there's a... Did it look like the turtle was moving towards us for clarification? I can't recall. You said that.
It's on. It was. It looks like it was moving from. It was north. It looks like it was moving from west to east, but it wasn't. It was closer. It was probably around, like 900, 800 to 900 feet away from north to the north.
Okay. There's a large turtle out there. Is that... Do we think that's the turtle that was apparently seeking ships? Something to keep an eye out on, yes?
I would most definitely agree to that, but let's not worry too much about it.
Let's just keep on our path that we're going on, but keep mindful of that thing.
Of turtles, yes.
Okay. So that fully threw me for a loop.
Turtles.
Hearing Nautilus just go, yes, turtles. How long are we on the water for currently? Like, how long have we been out in the water?
3 hours, let's say.
Yeah, 3 hours or so. Yeah, I'd say that.
This is a dumb non-mechanics question that is fully for RP reasons. Would this boat have, like, provisions in the sense of, like, a barrel of water below deck?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, not absolutely. It was kind of tarnished. I don't know if there would still be resources and
Yeah,
stuff.
there would honestly be more resources on it because of the amount of
Mhm.
people that died. Did not
So,
consume the
I think,
resources.
Yeah.
After Nornilus has done his dark deeds below deck, Hazel instead is going to go below deck, and using a small bowl and one of her thieves' tools, she's going to like ladle out some water, wash one of her thieves' tools as a like little combed pick, and just start like brushing out her fur and like trying to get like all the blood and dirt out.
Okay. Do a sleight of hand check to see how effective that is.
Sorry, one sec. What did you need me to roll?
Sleight
Do
of
a
hand.
sleight of hand check to see how effective you are at doing that.
Moderately.
Moderately, yeah, I'd say that.
14.
Okay, and you could spend more time to do a bit more better at to get more stuff done with that. Okay.
Yes. And then I do have a actual thing that I wanted to do too.
Yeah.
After she is done cleaning herself, she is going to approach Abaddon. Where is Abaddon on the ship right now? Is he steering?
Yep.
So let me, yeah.
You see her approach you with a sword in her hand, and she outstretches it to you. And if you would put your hand out, she would give you Tearfling.
But I will gladly accept his tribute.
Considering the cleaver has properly seemingly attuned to me, or at least in some sense of the word, I should not be stubborn with the sword that does not seem to agree with me. And considering you all have been nothing but kind despite my... Realistically, you guys have no reason to be kind to me, but you have. So, you would probably make better use of this than I would.
The first sentence, I don't think either sentences are true out of character. We've been rightfully kind to Hazel, and I don't think
She
Abaddon has
hates
good.
herself,
I
boss.
don't think Abaddon has good wisdom, so I don't know if it's actually better for him to use it or not.
She doesn't know that.
No, I'm saying out of character. Like I don't think either of
She
this.
thinks this is
I've
the
got a
meathead
minus
of the
one.
party. Meathead should have the best sword.
You're right.
That's her logic.
You're right.
I
When you're
will.
right, you're right.
Intelligence of 8. Keep that in mind.
Right. I forgot about that one.
Intelligence of 8.
I,
Very
I,
wise, not very smart.
I appreciate it, Hazel, but remember, right deeds don't come because they have to. It's because you want to. We treat you fair.
Don't wax philosophical to me, god damn it, just take the fucking sword.
Oh, bitch, it's already on my fucking back. I'm just explaining to you, kindness is because you want to. Force
Yes,
it's
yes.
just being pretentious.
Oh, also, that person you beat the fuck out of,
yeah?
Snorri, I still have his great axe. Do you want that too?
Snorri. Who's Snorri?
Uh-oh. Carl
you-
looks to you.
Shit.
You did what?
It's personal, mate. Please keep out of it. And please.
Oh God.
I will gladly
Who
take that
is
action.
Snorri? Is Snorri the person we found in the Paladinery?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
And
my
the one that
goodness.
Moritar and Abaddon just beat the fucking shit out of, and
Yeah,
I took his
no,
great axe.
that was also one of their friends. You just goofed.
I didn't. I out of character.
No,
Didn't,
I know.
so-
I'm aware.
But yes. Now you have a great axe and Tierfling. A
Shit.
used great axe and Tierfling. Used Tierfling too.
Yoink.
No,
But Snorri,
Yep.
what did he look like?
He was kind of ugly,
Was he
bloody.
missing limb? Was he missing limbs?
I think he was just bloody.
Was he okay?
I think. I could be wrong. My memory is infamously very bad.
Did he have a cape of that of a wolf?
I believe so. We ran into him in the Paladinery, and though bloody and beaten from what appeared to be numerous bite marks, he lunged at our group upon meeting him, and we quickly put him out of commission by taking his item that would do the most harm to us. And after that was done, we left him to his own devices there. We weren't keen on injuring the mate, but we weren't keen on being attacked by him either. We were moving forward with our own goals, so we left him there within the confines of the Paladinery.
Did you just see Abaddon?
Everything I just said was 100% true.
You just see Abaddon like waving his hand like no, don't talk.
That was me dissuading the situation in the best way that could happen.
Do a persuasion check, Nornless, at advantage.
Okay. Where's my persuasion? Where is persuasion? +1.
100 feet.
You have advantage at least.
Yes. That's a nat 20. And a 3. A nat 20 and a 3. So those were really far apart.
So
Oh,
wait,
shit.
so your first two rolls of the session were a 1 and a 20.
Correct.
Christ alive, man.
So that is a total of 21 with a nat 20 persuasion check.
This is gonna be a fun session.
Oh,
You're gonna die.
That is something I can understand him doing. I thought he was dead, but in his injured state, he must have became one with his berserker nature. I was almost going to ask why he would attack you and such a thing, but if that's truly what happened, I can understand. I have no qualms against you if that's truly the circumstance.
I don't know anything beyond that. He just seemed truly aggressive, and as soon as we came upon him, was violent and ill-mannered, and so we placated the situation, we removed the dangers, and we went on our way.
So you guys never encountered him prior?
I personally haven't, no. And I've been with the party for the large time that we've been in the city, so I have not seen him before, no.
Well, okay. If none of the rest of you have, and I can't push any ill will against you, but part of me hopes that is he still alive per se, or?
It is truly up to the gods at this point. I'm not really doing Normalist. There we are. That's Normalist. He was quite injured, and while we didn't offer any injury, we did not offer any aid either. So mayhaps he's still in fighting condition in the sense of mortality, but I truly could not tell you.
Snorri and his brother were some of the best fighters of sorts on his ship. His brother a druid, he a berserker. At least though Snorri wasn't fully killed by his own wolves.
Yeah, that would be horrible.
Well, yes, it would be horrible. Which is what I assume may have occurred. Since that's what's happened to the men on the ship. I survived just by chance. And you realize you guys did clean, you guys moved all the bodies to a certain area of the ship and kind of stuffed them up, and it's fine. They're not lying around anymore. And you also had gotten some from docks in the water. However, there's still blood about here there. You guys have probably done some cleaning, but there's still like blood stains and all sorts of stuff kind of invading the ship. Which Carl has cleaned here and there, but he's not going too far out to do too much of it. Also, the Bear Knight's not there because you guys did end up not leaving the Bear Knight with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, you guys continue going a little bit, and you guys are getting closer and closer to the island. The island is I guess the fourth thing I could describe is the island seems to have a great amount of smoke coming from it. And the smoke seems to kind of envelop the island and a little bit beyond it. Essentially, it looks like a cone of the island itself kind of looks like a cone of smoke to some degree. You guys had already kind of lost, Mortar. They went farther back, and you guys, given the fact you don't see them flying outside the island right now, means they obviously arrived on the island and are past the smoke. Do you intend to continue to the island and then kind of move through the smoke, or do you intend to anchor before getting to the main area of smoke? And when I say smoke, I mean mostly ash. It's ash and smoke, I guess. It's not like it's mostly kind of ash that's been smushed around. I guess that's a better way of framing it.
It's sooty, like when the
Yeah.
Fire Nation attacks.
We'd probably anchor at a place in which we could wade to the island. Like, without having to tread water, we could kind of walk through at body height.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how close we would get, because
Unless we have a boat
these
to get to
waters
shore,
are
which I doubt
unknown.
it.
We do not have a smaller boat within this boat.
Wait.
Most likely.
So, are you saying you want to move it into the ash area?
Yes, because we are not
Okay.
swimming to the island.
So, well, I mean, what I mean is do you guys? I was in the understanding you guys intend to do a long rest before you got onto the island.
I thought the idea was to do a long rest on the island with Leland's tiny hut.
That is correct.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That
Okay.
is correct.
In that case, okay. All right. As you guys are getting really close to the ash, Traveled starts to kind of move up to Abaddon.
Hello, mate. What can I do for you?
Blue Man or Abaddon, if that's your name. May I ask you? Sorry, Blue Man or Abaddon, if that's your name. May I ask you a question?
I mean, you already did, but shoot another one.
Where do you originate?
From a tribe.
A tribe of tieflings? Or a different tribe?
Avalon sort of looks at him with a very grim expression, gritting his teeth a little, and says,
Okay.
Well, I came from a small little tribe from the Furiza, you may know the name. Why?
Because your mannerisms and certain... Wait. And... Wait, a quick question. Does Abaddon, like his image, have tattoo? Wait, not... Sorry. Does he have any tattoos?
Yeah, he would have travel tattoos
Okay.
from his, what's it called?
Furies?
From the
Okay.
Goliaths. Yep.
Your tattoos, they look of Goliath nature. I didn't know if you were from a Goliath. You have lived in a Goliath clan of some kind.
I have, yes.
Which one was it for a decent amount of time? And which one was it, or what settlement?
Avalon sort of squints his eyes a little bit, kind of looking up and down, cautious of the man in front of him. I was part of the Furiza.
Oh, you're a village of Furies of the Sunder clan. Ah,
Yes.
that's of great interest. May I ask you, if that's the case, do you have a reason for being here?
You ask a lot of very personal questions, mate.
I know enough about where we're heading, and I've heard some rumors.
Well, I am on a mission to make sure my tribe can withstand any assault from a certain man who will be the downfall of our kind.
Okay. There is like a. I don't want to say this. Is that something you feel fully, truthfully saying, or
Yeah.
do you feel like that's in the sense that okay?
Like he 100% believes that if said person gets in power, it'll be the doom of Goliaths.
But is that the sole? Is that the primary reason you left the village though?
Well, my quest was
There was an okay. I just want to know if it was if you view that as like the okay. Because there is another thing. I didn't know if you were gonna bring up or not. Okay.
It can always be the truth without being every bit of the truth.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. Okay. I didn't know if you were searching for your clan's weapons per se. That's all. I just know that heading to. I'll be honest with you. I'm a chef. I'm not that familiar. I'm not Gurk. I do not have a great knowledge of the world, but I know a little thing. And I know that Mount Flager is a weird place.
that is very correct. Manflaga is a place most people should never travel to.
And I don't mean because of its, the current situation's odd, but maybe I've overspoken. Well, it's nice to fight beside someone from a Flager clan, or not Flager clan. Sorry, Sunder clan. And he kind of isn't sure what to say next. He kind of looks around as if he had something he wanted to say a little deeper, but he's unsure if he wants to go about saying it. And he kind of looks to the side and looks into the waters.
Can I do an insight check to see if Abaddon would notice that? Like that there's still
Yeah.
something on his mind? Watch me fail misery, boys.
I'm watching. Not bad.
15? That's the highest wisdom save I've ever done.
You get the idea there's something else he wanted to ask you and is really iffy about it, but he's like afraid of asking it, and clearly it has something to do with the fact that you are a Sunder clan and what he believes your like goals or whatnot are.
Alright, whatever's on your mind, spit it out. There's a long boat ride and I hate fucking silence, so whatever's on your
That
mind.
walking furnace went ahead. You were traveling with him, or it, or whatever it is. I don't
Yeah,
mean
what
to
about him?
have any.
They are a person at the very least. Come now.
Were you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Oh, I know. She's just being a
Did you
bitch.
have a close? Did you bring them from Fioris?
No. No. I joined him in his quests ages ago. Back when this group looked very different.
Oh.
Oh?
I thought that they were perhaps of something of they to me didn't quite look like a normal fire genasi, if you know what I mean. They look different, as if I know that your clan has a item called the Fire of Surtur. I don't know the full extent of what it is, but I know it's fire and it's unique. And I didn't know if that's what that person was.
A person alone cannot be the fire of Surtur. But I will grant you this. I have my suspicions about him. But he's a good man, Genasi thingamabob. And I repeat, you ask a lot of questions that cut deeper than most people would like to.
To be fair, Abaddon, about the last one, you inquired as to what he had to say.
Don't correct me in front of the people I'm trying to scare.
Babe, not in front of the others.
Babe, come on. Come back to bed.
Alright, fair enough. I'm a bit of a dick, so.
That was out of character. For me, at least.
Alright. Well, look, I'll say it as is and I'll say it plainly. I do have my suspicions about the man. I don't know exactly what it is, and I remember a while ago he spoke of Surta. He wouldn't tell me anything of it then. Well, that just continues my suspicion, but I have good faith in the man that if something were to happen, and something is revealed, that I could make good use of it. But now back to the point. You said you were a chef.
Yes.
Well, I will have to admit, I am quite hungry. Do you think you could cook up something for me?
You guys are rapidly approaching the island where there's a lot of ash, and they kind of look to you. Well, if I'm to do something, I might as well do it now. Or
Well, just
whatever meat we consume is covered in ash.
exactly. Just something nice, quick, simple. You know, some omelets, some spinach.
Tribald, in this very moment, creates this world's first sandwich.
Yeah. Ooh.
What kind of unholy machination is this?
Travold seems to kind of have some rations on him, but he
check that
you
now.
know, then kind of looks to Carl and they briefly, and then you see Travold kind of go under and start to kind of maneuver and get some stuff, and eventually they produce what seems to be some like sliced meat with some with looks to be some dried like some dried vegetables, like not mainly which aren't great. Like, and you aren't even sure. It looks like dried cabbage, which is kind of eh. Um, but also some like the meat's decent, and then he seems to have kind of gotten some sauce together, which the sauce is kind of decent. It looks to be like having made from some more fresher ingredients that they had underneath. Uh, and so it mainly seems to be sliced beef or sliced meat of some kind, along with some dried beef or some dried meat of some kind. It might be beef. You aren't sure. Along with the like weird dried cabbage.
Well, I will take it and eat it scrumptiously.
As in, wait, like as in with your hands?
Yeah.
Isn't that what eating consciously means? Is that like I thought that was like a Islamic thing. Okay.
No, I just use my tail to hold the sandwich and just eat with that.
Okay. Well, it's not that bad. It looks like he like it looks like it for what they had, the circumstances. It seems fairly decent, and it becomes kind of clear the meat that was fresh was likely ham of some kind, which is fairly decent. It looks like they kind of at the very least their butcher skills are fairly decent, if not beyond that. Okay. In that
Wait,
case,
is
so
this
you
with
guys
vegan?
what?
Did you say his
Is
is
this-
vegan?
No.
Good, because I don't know what that means. But it's very tasty.
Is it naturally
Um,
sourced?
You're not here.
Yes.
Yeah. So as you guys get farther way closer,
Absolutely.
some Trebold and Carl and I mean possibly Telf look like they're kind of getting kind of spooked. So some of them start to put like kind of look around, and Carl's like, "What are we to do about the ash and smoke? It's like,
There
what
was
are we to do about the ash and smoke?"
there was a segment in the last session where I said we spent some time fastening to the best of our ability masks to prevent the ass in our mouth and like for our breathing.
Oh yeah, I guess Trebold would have known that. Okay, and Carol might have forgotten. Oh, that. and you guys been, I would say, all kind of gap of mass. They're not great,
No.
but they're not bad.
Yes.
Okay. So you finally kind of push through into the ash, and it becomes fairly dark. The ship soon becomes kind of covered in it. It's kind of rains down upon you a little bit. It's not pleasant. It's kind of hard to really see with it. So holding your eyes is kind of great. Some areas are thicker than others. And eventually you arrive at the beach, and Carl and some of others manage to eventually dock the ship of sorts, getting the anchor down. Now, did you have a particular destination on the island you were heading towards before? That's something I probably should have asked.
No, initially we probably would have just sought to get on the beach, out of the water, to a place where probably like ideally solid ground, not sand, like dirt and then cast Liam's tiny hut there to take a rest.
Okay.
We would look around for more tar, but only so long because we really do need to rest at this point.
Okay. Moritar is not immediately visible, and it's not clear if you don't think he's nearby. It's likely he's somewhere along the beach, either farther south or farther north, albeit I'll say you guys arrived somewhat of the farther northern portion of the island.
How big is the island?
So
if you had to give it, is it...
It would be
a mile wide?
How big is the beach is the better question.
I'm more asking of if Abaddon screamed at his full barbarian volume, would Moritar hear it, or is it an island to his size where the sound wouldn't travel that far?
So the island is about it's around. So it's probably around it is a triangular shape. It's with it being if we're looking at it from above, it would be 3 miles in length and around 5 in width. If you were looking at it from above perspective.
Okay, so it's a big island, not
yeah, and
not
you being somewhere on the north part of that triangle.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't really have time to, or energy, mind you, to go and search for Molotov. If you want to give a shout, you're probably the loudest of the group, and see if they hear you.
I mean, I will take it as flattery, but sure. Anything specific I should shout?
Molotov, we're here. Where the fuck are you?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so
I was prepared. I was bracing for it, and it wasn't even enough for me. I was ready for it. Jesus Christ.
firstly,
I was
to
flashback
determine-
to when I was 12 playing Modern Warfare 2 and someone got really racist on the mic.
Oh, I can do that too.
No, we don't need to do that. Okay, sorry.
Holy
Wow.
shit, that was great. Oh my
Okay,
god.
so-
Dedication to the beat. Dedication to the bit. Points.
Okay, Moritar, given what we discussed, would
tasting
you
that.
have moved towards the direction I mentioned to you?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. In that case, given the amount of time that's passed and the circumstances, Moritar does not respond. You don't hear them yell back.
Well, we tried everything.
Does Moritar have a sending stone? Just
That-
because I thought they did. Okay,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
guys already used that day's use of it, I believe.
No, I used a scroll. I do still have a sending stone. I had forgotten about that. Moritar dropped it onto the ship.
Ah, okay. Okay. You guys can start with things if you'd like. If you want to do that long rest, I'm going to now get to Moritar. Now Mortar, I'm gonna give you a choice. Would you prefer I do this in this channel, or go to you with hidden secrets for the next portion of this? If we go to hidden secrets, it will not be recorded in the video.
I'm fine with either.
Yeah, just do it here. We can avoid meta.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Morthar. What had happened is you and Gurk had ended up moving deeper into the cave after the Mephite started to kind of chase after you. Once you kind of got a little deeper, they kind of buzzed off and left you alone. You would have, let me see, you and Gurk would have ended up, let me make sure I actually have it. Okay, so you and Gurk, I would like you to put your, kind of get deeper into the cave a little bit, and you soon find something you're expecting to see.
But where am I
Which
putting
is-
myself on the map?
Put yourself down over here. Can you see? Or I'll just drag you down. Okay. So, this, first of all, for context, this happens hours prior to the party getting to the island.
Journalist, you're not here.
It's just so I can see the map for the video.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Oh, wait, wrong person. Here. Okay. Let me just grab.
One ink.
Okay, so you see a sign that has warning signs about the dangers of this cave in several different languages. In Common, Dwarvish, Goblin, and a couple others. Gurk stands by you and is a little peeved that you managed to actually sell them on not on being more basically on disarming themselves initially with the Mephites, but they're kind of accepting things. Do you think we should do you think, Moritar, that we should delve deeper or wait here? I don't know of the dangers of this place. Are you familiar?
I am fairly familiar, yes.
Why?
I feel like that's a trick question.
Is it?
Anyway, I think I don't believe progressing forward would be the best idea, but at the same time, I don't believe our companions will be making their way to us anytime soon.
Well, I'll say this. I'm not fully certain that at this point Amethyst probably has some ideas, but I have amongst me an ancient weapon. Which is amongst one of my means to defend myself. I am more than enough to at least get through some bothersome foes, if that may be us. However, if you are familiar with this place, is there somewhere safe we could go if we went deeper in?
It depends how deep.
Well, if it depends how deep, I'm not sure. I guess since this is is it all cave like this, or what's the circumstances?
Well, it's not all cave. It's just a lot of cave.
Do you? By the way, I initially intended to have this guy have like an accent similar, like a vaguely tribalish accent. That kind of fell off a little bit. A lot. But let me actually think about this. But Nautilus, not Nautilus.
Yes,
but
Nautilus, what do you
Moritar-
think?
Yeah, but Moritar, I feel that the best means to stay here would be to find a position further in But if your familiarity with this place is decent, then this warning sign shouldn't mean too much to us. Okay. Sorry, someone was talking to me briefly. I wish to know, if you know enough about this place, what might this be beyond this warning?
Iron Golem.
Like a full-on iron golem?
He's been missing his head for a while, but yeah.
Oh, that's pretty, like, that's a big deal. Well, shit. I don't know that much about those things, but I know enough to know they're bad news. I've never seen one in person or anything like that.
Well, imagine me, a bit bigger, without a head, and very, very prone to punching you through walls.
Okay. Well,
And there may be some others, but
maybe we
I,
could
I
stealth a
don't think
little
they'll
bit.
be as bad.
But okay, back to the... Depends on how deep we're in. Is there a place of safety deeper in this volcano?
Yes, that there should be,
Okay.
but I've not been here for a fair while.
I'm
so
willing to
there might
risk
be
it.
other things here.
Would you, if you're familiar, would you guide the way?
I mean, that's the best course of action, so yes.
All right.
Mr. DM, would I actually know the way?
You would have some... So this portion you'd be a little iffy on. You'd have some generalistic stuff. Do a survival check.
That's not gonna go well.
Okay. While this is happening, you guys can do your long rest stuff, at least mechanically. And when we'll get back to you, we'll have assumed you guys had done the long rest.
Mm.
Okay. Okay.
I already
this
got my
is-
thing done a while ago.
You
Fuck
think
me, I don't get
that
long
the
rest.
path... you generally have an understanding. It's not perfect, but you think that the best general route would be something where you at least for the most part, you like you go with like kind of go straight and basically curve like to the right a bit, and then keep to the wall for a while. And
Follow the blue
that's
line.
what you would know. You aren't really, but that should lead you at least, like, you'll definitely be as far away from the Iron Golem as you can be, but you're not fully certain about some of the other things.
I'll
Do
take
you
that
go
chance.
about doing that or no?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll kind of guide you. Okay, well, I'll kind
Did you-
of I'll move you. So I moved you a little bit far, but you. Do you want me to? Yeah, I guess I'll have you guys can move along. So you move through this area. You see some ashen corpses, which some are newer, but some are far older. It looks like they've been there for years and years and years. Others are a little newer. Albeit you saw, I'd say you just saw the one, so that one's pretty older. And you keep kind of heading out, and you know at least like you aren't like 100%, but you're like 80% sure that you can get to the next kind of big chamber if you just keep clinging to the wall here. Is that what you end up doing?
Yes.
I didn't really. Okay.
Just to get past all the spooky, dangerous stuff.
Okay. Now eventually, you end up kind of exiting this chamber and going farther until you enter a familiar but dangerous area. Okay, Norris, if you have like lava music or like volcano, like something that has like like lava sounds, this would be a good time to put
I
that
will
in.
look for that.
Okay. So Norlis, I keep saying Norlis, Muratar, you come across an area that you're of familiarity with. Gurk is not very comfortable here. This is a rather hot location. And two large, one being particularly larger, vaguely reptilian, like four-limbed, like creatures seem to kind of gaze upon you. And they both kind of seem to move their tail in a wag-like manner as you kind of appear, looking vaguely excited, but also are aware enough that if they rushed at you, that could be a problem. Within this means, what do you go? What do you do?
Mortar will fully take off their helmet.
The creatures now kind of move a little closer to you, and they seem fairly happy to see you, within the context of your understanding of their emotional state. However, there's do a animal handling check. You feel like something's a little off about them, but it's hard to tell like specifically. It's not like they're like gonna be hostile towards you, but it's almost like they're worried about something or they're have a fear to them, but you aren't really sure of that. It's like a maybe. Like you aren't really clear on what's going on. But it just seems off, but you can't really put your finger on really anything.
What is it, Scrummy? What is it? What's wrong? I know I haven't been here for a bit.
That's the sound it makes. It looks like the area of magma in this room is actually at a higher elevation than normal. It normally, like, the lava level is a good, almost like 20 feet deeper than it normally is. Sorry, 20 feet, it starts 20 feet below. Normally this is a big cliff that one jumps over, but now the lava is only like around like 10 feet or less in some areas to like actually probably like 5 and for a lot of it. Like, yeah, it's around, I guess 8 feet would be a good, 8 to 10 feet below like the rock cliffs is where it currently is at. Meaning something's obviously been going on with the volcano, and you're fully aware that, you know, volcanic activity has definitely gone wacky, but this is a little more than you expected.
Yeah, I've come to help fix the volcano. I've got some companions. They should be catching up to us in a while.
Okay. With that in mind, the larger one seems to move in location and kind of place its body almost as a bridge letting you cross.
Mortar will very quickly hop over.
Okay. Gurk looks kind of a little uncertain, but he kind of gets over. And the creature, the small creature, and then later the larger creature does the same, letting you pass further.
Yeah.
Allowing you to
See,
eventually
Dirk,
get
you
into a
can't
larger
really get
room.
cold feet here.
And you guys managed to pass. Gurk is mostly silent. They are at awe of the actual, of the level of familiarity with this place you actually had. They weren't really expecting you to have been someone that assumedly, like, was here long enough to have familiarity with such creatures.
Now,
continue on
Scrummy,
to the next
don't kill
room.
my companions when they come.
Do animal handling. They seem to. Do you think they have an understanding of the way you're saying that? You're not like fully confident. You're like, but you have hopes.
I
But
would have
there's a
said that in
small chance
primordial if
they
that
might have
helped.
misinterpreted it.
I would have said that in primordial if it helped.
In that case, do advantage. Okay, yeah, you have a stronger. Yeah, I would say like after going to primordial, that you feel like they have a stronger, definite of understanding your statement and keeping by it. Okay. You would have continued on to the next room, and I know you know what's in there. So we're going to go on to back to the
Yeah.
rest of the group, and we can discuss a little bit
I'm
after the
assuming
session
this was
and
happening
some
during the
other
time
stuff
they
about
were
what happened.
sailing towards us.
Okay.
I'm assuming this was done during the time they were sailing towards us.
Yes. Meaning,
So can I take my long rest?
yes. Within the context of the next room, you and Gurk do a long rest in that room, and Gurk probably has a lot of questions
Yeah.
for you. We might get back to. We'll see. Either way, I'll move forward here. So actually, I'll do it. This will work for now. You guys have. Yeah. Okay. So you guys now have gotten into the. You guys assumedly went onto the beach to do
Yeah.
the spell, right? Okay.
Yes, we
So
went onto the beach and Nornalus cast Lehman's tiny hut, and we took a long rest on the beach.
okay, so you guys all managed to fit within this thing. I assume everyone with you, including uh
Likely
it's definitely
Carl,
Eric.
yes.
Yeah, I keep thinking it's Eric for some reason, but it's Carl. Managed to kind of go about it. Carl's still a little unsure if he wants to fully go with you or stay with ship, but he's kind of a little scared of the conditions. Is anyone keeping watch?
I don't know.
Nonetheless is not.
Okay.
I would maybe keep like a 2-hour watch, but that's about it. I don't think I'm gonna be too worried about getting attacked on the island.
Okay, and keep in mind, now that you're kind of in the area of Ash, you guys can't really see too far really out. It's really, I mean, Norlis might have a better shot to some extent, but not too, there is a lot of ash material. So it's hard to see back outside of, out into the ocean. As in regards to possibly tracking, like, the, the turtle, which you guys have now passed significantly, assumedly. It didn't seem to be following after you per se.
Mhm.
And it didn't seem like and also those boats. Is anyone else doing so in that case, Hazel, do your watch? No, Abaddon, are you doing a watch?
I
That's
just
nat
realized
20.
I was muted. Damn.
So okay.
I'm gonna die later this session.
I fucking
I
hope
love
not.
that luck.
Alright. So oh boy. You notice a couple things. Now, it's really hard to see like past the like you can get like vague
I think I'm
you
definitely
see
relying more on my sense of like hearing, because I imagine
yeah.
that it's a little hard to breathe, so I can't really
Okay.
trust smell, and I can't really see, so it's hard to trust sight.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna give since the circumstances, I'm gonna give you a choice.
Okay.
Did you want that to be the first watch or the last watch or a watch in between? This will matter to determine how useful this is. As in, I'll say that like
I'll say it's the last watch.
Victorion. Okay. And Abaddon, were you doing a watch or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to do first, second, or I guess possibly third? As in third before
And then whichever two we don't do, Sardonyx and Jade will say they do.
I'll do first one.
And I'll take last, so then Sardonyx and Jade, however you want to roll them, Ian.
Okay. So you said you do first, so Abaddon? Okay, so
Yeah.
go ahead and roll on perception. I'll be doing that with the other people.
Abaddon's gonna rely on his hearing for this one mostly. Some eyes.
Oh my god. Wow. Wow.
Well, you see, Abaddon really doesn't clean his ears a lot, so he's deaf as a fucking mule.
That's wild.
Okay. Oh boy. So Abaddon, you don't really hear anything. It's just kind of ashy stuff. Like, yeah, you don't. You're probably fine. Or maybe you're in great danger. It's possible that there could be a big monster going up to you, but you aren't really sure. There might be. There might not be. You have no clue. This is an environment which you can't see very well, and like there's perhaps ashy sounds. I guess it'd be sounds of ash and like of a volcano like spewing out ash. That makes some ash and smoke. That makes some noise, I would say. So that's kind of it's hard to hear things.
I'm
And you're just
tired
not
anyway,
top of your game really at all, though.
It's like hail hitting a window as you're driving because that's what Liam was tiny hut is like. The ash hitting a
I'll be
window.
you have had a very long day, though. It's been a little wild of some very up a number of wacky things that could happen in a morning. I think a lot of wacky things had happened. And then the rest of much of the rest of the day was boating and some other stuff. So, next, Victorion kind of watches a little bit, and they seem to notice or hear some strange like wispy sounds to the south a little bit, and there's like as if there's like many small, possibly flying creatures that make some type of wispy noise as they move their wings. And she kind of pays close attention to them, and eventually they seem to move farther south enough that it's no longer really an issue. They don't seem to be of prevalence, at least no longer close to you. They seem to move out of the area. Sardonyx doesn't really hear much either. I mean, they don't. There's not too much going on really. Sardonyx, here's like I guess towards the end at one point she hears towards kind of a closer portion of the end. She hears more of the some wispy things, but coming from like a little to the north, a little to the like west. But they're not very many, and they kind of stop moving after a while. They stop making their sounds and don't sound like they're approaching too much. And most of these seem to be like a mile off anyway. Now, finally, Hazel. You hear something different. You hear the sound of. It's not like. It's something that's a little faint at first, but you hear a movement out in the sea. That sounds like a boat. It sounds like a ship. However, it slightly has an odd sound, as if it's like kind of the sound of. Along with it is the sound of like cracking ice, kind of, which is a very strange thing to hear. But the ship seems to be getting closer, and this is mostly towards the end of the long rest. And so by the time that ends, you hear that thing getting closer and closer. The ship, you can hear the fact you're able to hear this would be mostly just to like. It would be something that you would consider highly of yourself, but you were able to hear the movements of the ship, given the fact that it was likely not very close by. But it is getting closer and closer, and at the end of the long rest, it's likely within like a couple hundred feet.
Do I get the sense that there's a chance I could steer them off? Like create a distraction somewhere else to make them go somewhere else, assuming that they probably can't also see very well either?
I would say, ooh boy. Depends on the means. I have a couple different ways to go about this. You can either roll an Arcana check, which I believe, based on stuff we have, would be a disadvantage.
Correct.
Or, because that would be the main way you would go about it. Or, I would say, given you think we could go about that, or I could have you roll. Given it's a boat, and the boat's getting fairly close to the volcano, means that there's someone who either intends to want to deal with something like the volcano, or they're after you guys. So,
while we were on the ship, is the trebuchet locked to the angle that the ship is locked at? Can the trebuchet be spun of its own accord without the ship being
spun to some degree, but it definitely it doesn't. If you were to turn it, like it couldn't go a full like 180.
So we'd have to move the ship to do it.
As in, what I mean by it couldn't go 180 isn't that it can, but because of the sail in the way, it would not be able to fire. Yeah.
So poor planning on this trebuchet's part.
Yeah.
Got it.
That being said, like, assumedly the trebuchet would be in the general direction. Like, you could probably move it around enough to hit someone that would be behind the ship, which in this case it would be. So you could use the trebuchet to maybe like shoot a projectiles, possibly scare the people. However, do a int check,
Int.
intelligence.
Saving
Actually,
throw.
you could do intelligence or insight.
I would love to do insight. 17.
You get an idea that it's entirely possible that the ship that's coming this way doesn't know your exact location, and due to the amount of like ash, you guys, especially if you left the ship, would have a decent amount of time, like, you know, being able to relatively easily hide from the ship that's heading towards you, giving you, you know. So it's really just about like how much time you have to head through the beach and find where you need to go.
I think
If
instead
you
of
went about
trying to do this herself, I think she is going to bring this up to the party, like in mechanics terms, right by like 5 minutes before the end of the long rest, just so people have time to like think, and then okay, once we can get going, we can get going. So I would bring up like, hey, I hear something. We should either steer them off, fight them, or move. And she would say that in character.
Maybe we should move. We should look to catch up with Mortar then.
Are we worried about losing our way back if our ship gets destroyed by whoever the fuck is following us?
I have a metaphoric pearl of power I feel like I might be able to use in the near future to get us off this island.
Fair
Right.
point. Fair point. Let me speak first. Let me speak first.
Of course, yes, go for it.
I just got Tiefling and I want to use it.
I understand that. I understand that of all people. Probably not best to engage, considering we are a little bit run ragged. I know we did just rest, but it's been a lot.
There's also the case of we don't know who we're fighting. If we're fighting, how many we're fighting. It'd be best to get into a place where we could use, at the very least, the terrain more to our advantage. Because right now we are sitting ducks in a place where we cannot see well and hear only averagely.
Alright, on a scale of 1 to 10, how fucked would we be if it were the people who hunted us, like, a couple of hours ago?
10.
That's all.
I'd wager 6. The
Okay,
reason it posed such a threat before is, well, we'd fought a dragon, we'd fought a giant troll that had super regenerative powers, we rushed through the ruins of a city, and we were fully expended and beaten and bloody. I don't know how we'd fare in normal combat, but combat there, we surely would have lost.
But combat now, when we're at our full power, minus Moritar, but he can hear us probably when we're fighting.
He is one of the few that can heal the group, so he is quite a linchpin in that matter.
Alright, let's go. Play it safe.
But first, let me do the Sprite bit.
The what?
I just cracked a soda right next to the fucking mic.
Speaking of sprites, Telf is still kind of on with Hazel, albeit Telf is asleep and is still asleep. So you could wake her.
No,
What? Comatose.
unless I need to, like, this is my child. I'm not waking them up.
Okay.
I'll kick him in the
I want to
chest.
make it that she is absolutely fucking pack bonded to this random fucking pixie.
Okay. As you start to kind of exit the ship and get onto the beach,
We are
Carl
on the beach.
is looking.
We are on the
Okay.
beach.
Sorry. As you're on the beach, Carl kind of looks to you. I don't know if I want to continue with you or stay with my ship.
That's
Well,
up to
stay
you,
with
sir.
us and you might die. Stay with the ship and you will die.
Yeah.
Yours is yours.
Regrettably, you have a better chance with us than you do alone.
Yes, my thoughts
Yes,
were
but
you can't pilot the ship on your own. There's a turtle out there that may or may not sink the ship. There's a volcano that may or may not erupt. I'm not going to say you should stay with us, but the dangers presented to you do jump drastically by yourself at the moment.
and I should mention again, if the person who caused, or the individual who's fully ultimately to blame for the death of my many valiant brothers and sisters in arms were to enter the ship while we were gone, I'd likely die, no matter where I am, as Fenrir would be summoned.
Wait, so you're telling me if the dude who fucked you over touches the boat, a very angry godhound is going to be summoned?
Yes,
I don't know the full extent of how it functions, but I believe something like that.
I believe when I tried to identify it, it was something akin to a portal to Fenrir would open.
And that hound would be severely pissed.
I imagine that hound is always severely pissed, actually.
Why are we lugging him around? He's a liability.
Huh?
Me?
I think you misunderstand something, Abaddon. This only if whoever disparaged his men were to set foot onto the ship. It has nothing to do with him as an individual.
The item is already embedded in the ship.
Yes.
It is now tied to the ship.
Keep it close, but far enough distance away that you won't become an issue if something like that were to happen. If I have to
It has
find a
nothing to do with
godhound
me.
today,
Fenrir will appear on the ship, not at my location.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it was,
Oh,
it's
wait, never
only
mind
the
then.
ship. Only the ship. Not him as a person.
alright, my mistake.
Okay. Well, I'd hate for whoever to come here to. Do they? Are these people? If these people are after you, do you think they would destroy the ship?
They may, I don't see any reason they would.
Oh boy. If they were to set fire to it, at the very least, that means the corpses in it now would face a proper burial.
Aye. They would.
I'll travel with you. And he kind of taps his axe and his little like a axe holder of sorts on his side, and he has a sword as well.
While we are discussing that, Carl, so I'm curious what combat capabilities you have, because
Well,
frankly, I don't know what's in this volcano.
if I travel from the ship, I may be able to use my lycanthropic capabilities.
Yes, you did mention that. I'd forgotten out of character.
Other than that, I'm skilled with blade and axe.
Any magic? Just curious and checking.
Sadly, no.
Perfectly fine. Understood. I'm not sure where our friend went, but let's go look for Mr. Molitor, yes?
Okay.
Should I continue my barbaric screeching?
Not anymore, because it sounds like we're being followed, potentially, and we don't need to give them means to follow us, no?
Okay.
Alright.
So the group of you start to travel south on the beach. Well, actually, sorry. What direction do you tend to decide to head? Actually,
Moritar, what direction did you go? Just kidding.
Haha.
We came from the north. Let's go south.
Like you guys are near the north tip. Most likely, like so you could go to the south, like eastern, which is probably where like Moritar landed up. Or you could go farther west on the island, which is possible. But like if you guys haven't already heard Moritar, like Moritar, if is less likely to be on that side, and if you guys know anything, it's believed this island does have a cave, and you think the cave is probably more likely to be on the eastern side of the island in the west, but that's about all you would know.
Yeah, we're gonna head southeast, and look for any semblance of cave entry because we know we can't fix the volcano from outside, so we have to move in.
So you guys start to move south, and with you guys is some of you have high passive perception, so you guys would notice as you kind of walk, some of the things, some Victorion and some to some extent Amethyst had noticed. You guys can see in the distance, kind of flying through the sky a little bit, not too far, some a little bit closer to you than others. They look like Mephites. Some of you had seen frost Mephites and others dust Mephites, including the one you befriended that was crushed by the gate. But they don't seem to get too close to you. They seem to kind of look to you from afar.
They're fucking better.
One seems to fly a little closer to you and says, "Why are you not on this island?"
What?
What?
I frog blink at the Mephit.
Could you repeat your statement, Mr. Whirlywind?
Why are you not standing on this island?
We are standing on this island currently.
Well, is it maybe vertically challenged?
The creature starts to cackle a little bit and kind of moves its hands and its claws a little bit, kind of in the air, and do a little jig. Gotcha. And then
What?
starts to fly back towards like up the cliffs a little bit, up towards like out, basically away from you.
Going to ask it a question, but
I don't think that thing will provide us a good answer.
Probably not, but it didn't hurt to ask.
Some other like Mephites you can see kind of flying amongst a little farther out, or others like the ash is hard to making it so you can't see like too far out, like more than like 100 feet or so. But like you can, some of the other ones are visible start to clap a little bit, liking the performance of their ally or friend. You guys continue moving a little bit. Do a your choice of a survival or perception check.
Oh,
depending
roll a
on what-
perception check.
Okay.
12 plus 12, 24.
Okay, so you guys keep walking, and eventually you see evidence of an area that looks like Mortar's fly may have landed. Mortar's fly, as since the time limit I believe has gone up, it's no longer there. However, you see a little location like in the sand. That's kind of covered up a little bit with like ash, but it looks like an indentation of where it landed, and you can see some footprints. Not too far from there, you do actually find what appears to be a cave.
We enter the cave.
Okay.
Everyone cool with that?
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot I was not muted.
Also, question.
Yes.
During the long rest, because of that spell, like, you would have been in a better, like, atmospheric environment. You wouldn't have had all the smoke in that, within the area of the spell, correct?
Correct.
Would you have still worn the masks, or no?
Yeah.
Not within
Nope.
the dome, but when
Okay.
the dome was getting close to closing, we would have put them back on.
In that case, since the masks were not overused, I'm not going to have you do a constitution check. If you guys continue to do the masks, like while you're sleeping or whatever, I think they would get kind of wet, and therefore from like your breathing and
Yeah,
whatnot,
no,
and
that
other
makes
stuff,
sense.
and therefore it would be a little worse. And I would have you guys do a concentration check.
Gotcha.
Constitution check. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So you guys managed to get into the Okay, actually, before I even move you, I want to make sure I have got rid of the stuff I had from Moritar being here. Okay. I'll now move you into the cave. If you could put on some, let me actually pull up. I might put on cave music.
We have
if you
cave
can put
music
on
going.
cave music, we have some.
It's dark in here.
We got cave music going on.
Okay. Okay.
Just very quiet.
I'll place you guys in actually. I could have Issa a little bit. If you want, I could have Issa and sorry, Issa, Victorion, and Sardonyx a little bit far behind.
Two things. Can you go on to Sardonyx's and Victorion's character sheets and click long rest for them?
Yeah.
And can you give me my enhanced vision from Odin's Eye?
Yeah. Okay, I'll do. First, I'm gonna drag everyone that should be on here onto there, and then I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And
Sure.
you guys can start to move around if you want, but I'm going to
I'm going to cause problems on purpose.
I'm waiting until I can see the way I need to be able to see now.
Is there any chance you can lock Telth's token to mine, so that way when it moves, they move?
I think maybe. I could give you access to. I can make a little token for it, and then you could maybe like drag it out and do both. But I don't know if you can. Okay, first I need to do a long rest thing for Sardonyx and.
I think you can. I'm pretty sure.
How do I do a long rest thing?
Click on their character sheet and there's a long rest button.
Oh, I forgot. That's a thing that didn't used to be in Roll20. I don't say it's a newer. It might have
Yes,
been here for
it's
2 years.
No, it's new.
Oh, okay.
Abaddon was just sort of humming a old tribal song to himself.
Okay. And what did you want, Norlands? You wanted
my vision from Odin's Eye.
Okay. And was that 90 or beyond that?
Beyond. The 120.
Oh, yeah. Okay, is anyone holding a torch or no?
I don't think anyone needs to anymore.
Carl.
Oh god, you can see finally. Fuck
close.
yeah.
Yeah, they'd be a little awkward, but they'd be following close by.
Oh my god, I can see so good.
I forget.
You can see
Goliath
so
have
good.
dark vision or no?
Goliaths? I have no idea.
I don't think they do. Okay. Yes, they'd be
Goliath
kind of
too?
sticking close by. Okay. So, you guys now enter the cave. You move a little bit. As you get kind of deeper, the ashy kind of aspect kind of lessens. And this area you can breathe a little bit better. It's not great. It's still kind of a nasty little ashy cave. You can definitely smell smoke still, but it's the mass of ash that was present is no longer present. You see a sign, or a large stone tablet on the ground. It looks like it was kind of carved out of a piece of rock, but it looks kind of intricate. That seems to have a warning. It says a warning. There is nothing in this cave worth dying for. If you seek a dragon, I recommend you stop. And it says that in a bunch of different languages, including Common, Dwarvish, and Goblin being some of the main ones, along with well, some other stuff. Like you see like a giant, and I'd say probably also Elvish.
Hazel approaches the warning sign, stares at it for a solid 5 seconds, and just says, "This sign won't stop me because I can't read," and continues walking forward.
Okay. I would say, yeah, Abaddon and Normalist, do a insight check.
She is totally lying. She loves reading.
I,
Fucking told ya.
I'm great at insight. Said no wizard ever.
Oh, shit.
8.
Ian, we forgot something very major.
What?
I still have 765 gold in my pockets.
Oh shit,
True.
you're right. I completely fucking
We
forgot.
fully forgot about that.
Okay. Rewind time a little bit. We gotta do something
we
important.
fully forgot about
I
that.
knew there was something. Okay, rewind time a little bit. Okay, during
Sorry,
the long
guys.
rest, you guys during the long that is a little accurate actually. So during the long rest,
During my watch, we'll
earlier
say.
on, Abaddon,
That's
it's during your thing. Okay, you didn't roll very well.
no.
He rolled a 0 or a
Suddenly,
1.
like you kind of are looking around, and you're not thinking, and suddenly you kind of gaze in one direction. You hadn't been paying attention. You didn't quite see it, but
I
you
was
see it
looking at
now.
Bozak's.
There's a little like right outside in like the ashy beach. There's a crow with a letter. Sorry, not a letter. With a little bag in its mouth. Actually, it's a bag that looks kind of weirdly elastic, but it seems to be holding that in its mouth, and it stands outside the orb on the beach.
Yes, that is a bird.
What do you do about it? It seems to look towards the inner portion of it. Kinda, it's hard to tell exactly if it's looking at you or Hayes or someone else. But it stands outside and waits.
Like how far away are we talking?
This is probably from outside the sphere. It's probably like 3 feet. You didn't hear it flying all close. It likely made a lot of noise when it was flying down, but you just didn't hear it because you rolled a 1.
I take a little bit of my bread, I crumble it up a little, and I just toss it out.
Suddenly,
Uh-oh.
okay, Hazel.
I posted the base
roll
one
a
and also a crow.
roll a wisdom save.
From where I'm at.
Yeah, you are asleep.
18.
You are having a dream. It's maybe a pleasant dream. The things start to get weird. You see like whatever the like substance of a dream is, you start seeing odd imagery present in the dream. Like string. Just seems like you see like people making yarn, but more so making string. Someone like seems to be like making some type of dress and ends up pricking their finger, and blood gets over the dress. Another person seems to kind of look at a crow, and the crow just kind of falls out of a tree, and the person looks distressed. And things are getting really weird in the dream, but you kind of manage to not get too spooked by it. However, suddenly you wake up, and you hear in your mind, "It is time." Sorry, it is time.
God damn it. Alright.
And you see Abaddon throwing bread at a bird.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm feeding a very precious little thing. Why are you awake?
Well, first of all, you should be giving, like, peas and lettuce to birds, not, bread, but that's neither here nor there.
You don't know that. Your intelligence is 8.
Look,
I have a +2 in animal handling. I might know that.
Look, Hazel, I mean no affront to you, but you're a cat person. Cats hunt birds. I would take your advice as much as I would take a wizard's advice for smithing.
That was a
regardless,
fucking great sentence.
That was-
I
that
love
was a
that.
banger
Holy
line.
shit,
Yes.
man.
That
was
was a banger.
awesome. I love that.
Thank you for not letting me gloss past that. That was a banger. Look, it's
Nano bangers.
God. I have to keep clearing my throat every like fucking 2 minutes. It's annoying. No, I believe that one's the one I spoke to you all about. It's time to pay my dues, I suppose. And she does a big cat stretch. And okay, how does a Liamon's tiny hut work? 'Cause I know it's not actually a tiny hut; it's like a dome. But is there like, it's like a tent flap? Like, can I leave it, or is it just walk
You
out of
can
it and
leave
walk back
it,
in?
Normalist can't.
Anyone that was in the dome when I cast it can enter and leave at will.
I just walk out of it, walk back into it, essentially. I don't need to like lift a flap or anything.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I
quick-
just.
Can I quickly throw something in?
So, you already threw the bread out towards the bird, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
What do you mean by throw something in?
Before we all take our rests and guards, I quickly would give Nornalis my the axe of Snorri for him to inspect if it's magical.
Yeah, what
special.
happened? I think that would have already happened a little bit beforehand. That could have
We
been
could have done
done
that
on
on the
ship,
boat, yeah. But let's say
yeah.
I
which
did
I
that.
would say it wasn't magical.
Oh, so it's just a
Wait,
pretty
wait,
cool-
let me actually rethink this.
It's a plus 12 axe.
Did I actually?
Oh, I thought you
Did
were
I
saying
actually indicate that it
confidently for a
weighs? I'm
moment.
trying to remember if I indicated if it was magical or not.
You did not.
Prob-
You did not.
okay,
it was
yeah.
just. It was some random guy's random axe.
However,
I don't know
you
about
did
random
say
guy, the
that
guy
they
was-
were one of the best warriors of this dude's clan. I feel like dude definitely would have had a magical axe.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
what
like
I'm
a plus
thinking of.
one.
But to be fair,
the-
just imagine how baller it would be if the dude was just fighting
Raw
raw.
I
dogging
will
it.
Yeah, I would say if he did do an identify check, it would have been a plus. No, it would be a great axe of awareness. Wait, that's the correct thing, right? That's
That's the one where you can't get startled or surprised while wielding it.
yes.
Yes.
Well, I already have that.
Well, now you have two.
Let's
Wait,
go.
you already have a weapon of awareness?
No, my class is a weapon of awareness. I can't get startled.
It works a little kinda okay. Either way, so back to the thing. When you throw, so Hazel and Abaddon, you guys are both kind of favorites of the bird. The bird opens its mouth in a weird way. It looks like it's opening it more so than it should. And you see a little bloody, weirdly long hand grab the little piece of bread and pull it back into the bird. And then it closes its mouth as if nothing happened. And it almost, yeah, and then it drops a little baggie during that, but then the hand kind of comes out again and grabs the baggie to put it into the bird's, like, so the bird can more properly hold it. Think of like if you've that scene in Harry Potter where Voldemort like looks like bacon, like it hit the hand kind of looks like Voldemort's hand in that situation.
I'm imagining like I don't know who here has played Elden Ring, but when you're fighting Rykard and he
Oh,
just
yeah,
like
that
pulls the
too.
sword out of his snake mouth, like
That
that.
was my
Yeah,
other inspiration.
I'm trying to find a gif of it, but I cannot quite find it.
For some reason, those hands kind of remind me of those sticky hands that go through walls. But yeah. Hazel, you
Gross.
can read your mind. Do you have the coin?
Do I get the sense that I can respond in my mind?
Yeah. You think you can try?
I think then she just nods
Okay.
instead of like verbally responding. And reluctantly she approaches the bird. Canonically, as far as I'm aware, this is the first time she's done this.
Yes.
Uh,
The bird seems to drop
Big stretch.
the bag in front of you, and then kind of seems to walk back a couple feet. The bag looks very strange looking. It's a black bag with some like interesting little decals to it, of sorts of like weird striations and lines. But the bag itself looks weirdly elastic.
Can I investigate the bag before I like touch it? Like I want to vibe check the bag.
Yeah, you could do like an investigation check or like or Arcana if you'd like.
I'll do Arcana, sure.
And what were you trying to? So
I'm
the
trying to
bag
glean if this
seems-
is like a something fucky with it. I don't know.
This seems to be a magic bag of some kind. Likely the
Fair.
elastic nature means that it could expand so that a huge amount of substance or material could be put into it.
Ah, gotcha.
That being said, the bird is what carried it, so assumedly that bird, which you already saw something strange from it, must be able to have to carry that as well. So there may be something weird with the bird too, but which I mean you already have some indication of. That'd be all. With a 14, you get those two things.
I forget.
it
You
does.
gave me a price check on some of my gems, so I think I want to try to put in as many of my like gem stuffs as I can before needing to put in money, since those things are things
Yeah.
I'll have to sell eventually. I'm just trying to find where we talked about it.
Yeah. I wish one or both of us had remembered this a little beforehand, in case because I didn't know if you were. I don't remember if you asked the party for money or not yet.
Nornalis canonically gave me 500 gold coins in the recent RP. I'm going to put into the bag the Ring of Warmth and a singular amber, which you established was around 200.
Okay, I'm trying to remember if you can give magic items. Did I say you could do that?
So
I think you
here,
did. I think I did.
I'll look in our chat right quick. I'm pinning the message that we talked about it in our DMs. So I'm putting in the Ring of Warmth and the amber because you said that would be around 200, and then everything else I would need to like sell to get stuff first. As for magic items, you said as far as I'm aware, I can put them in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will put in Ring of Warmth, 1 amber, and I will dump Nornalis's coin pouch that he gave me into the bag, leaving myself with 265 gold. No. 215 gold. Because I also need to put in 50 of my own cord.
Notice how much was in the coin bag? Wait, is this in addition to what you already told me? What you already had in this message, Hazel?
Yes.
In addition, okay.
So, Ring of Warmth, 1 amber. That's 200. Nornalis gave me 500. Like while talking after he put in the eye. So that's
Okay,
700.
and you had 265 gold, correct?
Yes, that was how much I had before anything. So then
Okay,
I'm putting an extra 50 in, so I'm down to 215, but the price has been paid.
Okay. The bag, as you kind of seems to do that, the bag seems to expand a little bit as you put the gold into it. And as you kind of move away, the bag kind of seems to, almost like a whoopee cushion kind of, it seems to make a little bit of noise and condense a little bit back to its, like it was expanding and then condensed back to its normal size. However, the bag does look to be pressed of a sand grater because of the weight applied to it. You feel your coin kind of like shake a little bit, but in a way that feels like not in a too abrasive or harmful way. It lightly glows, and you feel kind of weirdly safe. It's hard to explain, but it feels like this. If you had a way to feel or have like a feeling in your soul, this would be a neutral or good one. It's hard to really grasp the feeling you're even having.
I'm getting the
such an
idea that
alien
Fortune
one.
is pleased.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I would say so. And then you see the bird then grab the bag, and despite the assumed weight of the bag, it seems to lift off, and fly away.
I turned back to Abaddon and said, "Seems to prefer to eat gold." I did not like the way it reached for that bread, though. That was one of the most horrific things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm scarred for life. I don't think I've ever seen something so disgusting.
I know, you look at Moritar most days. And she walks back into the into the tiny hut.
Mortar's fire.
I know, I just wanted to be mean.
Now he says that to himself, kind of like looking around like, he's mostly flame. What the fuck's he disgusting about? Well, shoot, little fucking demon.
It already flew off, I think.
Fucking hope so.
Okay.
I don't want to be outside anymore.
It's not going to come back for you. It was a collector. It just came to get the money and go.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can I insight check? How afraid is Abaddon right now?
Go for it.
21.
Not as much terrified as just vastly disturbed.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mortified, borderline shitting himself.
Especially as
You
someone who used to own a crow.
you look at Hazel, she looks completely nonplussed.
You're fucked up in the head, mate.
You're just now learning this? I can literally summon knives from nothing, and now you're learning this?
Ooh, you can summon dogs. I can be so mad I don't die. What's that about?
Listen, man, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Go back to bed. I'll wake up when it's your turn. I'll just
At least that's no longer a weight on my shoulders, but yes, thank you.
no problem. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
There better not be fucking bedbugs on the beach.
Or the demonic crows.
Yeah, beach
Good
bed bugs
point.
would be bad.
You guys have never heard about sand fleas?
Yeah, but
Ah,
those are
Don't.
those are less bad than bed bugs.
It's valid.
Yeah. Yeah, but okay. Sorry to derail, but that was something that needed to be done
Yeah,
during
that
the
was
long
necessary.
rest.
I apologize for forgetting about that. Okay,
that
but
was fun.
okay, but basically, I would say that Hazel ends up going back to bed, and the stuff continues. So back to this, and also, I don't think this is sessions. I don't intend for the session to go too long, but we'll see. But I would like to make it clear that I don't think Moritar will be able to, from my understanding, will not be present next session. So depending on what happens this session and next, either this session might be a little shorter, or which it might more now, or more likely next session will be a little shorter. Just depends on how things go. Albeit this session also is a little short because we're missing a couple people. We'll see. Okay.
Mhm.
Anyway, I've now moved you guys back to here. Put on the cave music again. And yeah. So you guys have now entered the this cave of sorts. You saw a warning. What'd you guys do?
Well, as said, Abaddon just sort of hums a tune to himself while he's looking around.
Wow, that's wrong. That was my other character voice. You, take point. I'll be right beside you.
Yeah. I'll go first.
I'll take up the middle.
Pardon me. Excuse me. Squeezing through.
Yep, no worries.
Fuck.
I can see you quite well now. Let's head to the left, yes?
Yes.
Pick a direction and I'll follow it.
Avalon
Just
pulls up his both his hands and has them in an L shape and one in a reverse L.
thank God. It's this one. This one.
You don't know that either. You're dumber.
I would have
Am
figured
I?
it out at some point.
Yeah.
You are.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put them in intelligence.
Wait, oh no.
Yeah, you're dumber than the barbarian.
Oh, mint. Keep going, bud. It's a hard one. Also, I think Hazel would have not like forced you guys to, but like instructed you how to like remain stealthy in the cave. In case like we need a roll stealth check or anything, I'm saying that she is like already told you guys like, alright, just keep body low, keep hands at your side, make sure anything you got rustling's not gonna be rustling.
Nornless
That kind of
immediately
stuff.
trips over a rock.
I forgot Avalon is still singing a tune.
Oh my God. Okay. So Hazel's sneaking, Abaddon's not. Got it.
What was that?
Nothing. You're
Keeping
doing
the
wonderful,
body.
sweetie.
Keeping the body low. Got it.
You guys hear so Abaddon, actually Abaddon, Normless, and Hazel do a perception. Actually, what's your passive perceptions?
17.
18.
9.
You guys hear in the distance, a little towards here. You guys hear like what sounds like the flickering of flame, and the sound of like a torch almost, but more than a torch, like almost like a brazier almost. But it sounds a little weird.
This is a dumb question. Does it sound like Moritar? Because I don't know what Moritar might sound like if he's like a roiling flame.
It's more like a soft
It sounds
simmer.
Moritar-esque, yeah. It sounds kind of like Moritar. Moritar, because of his heavy armor and other stuff, it's dulled a lot. So
Mhm.
it's not. It's like more like a light sound. But God, that's not something I never really thought much about. That Moritar would just make noise by being around. But yeah.
Well, he doesn't have to, but it would make sense for like a roiling flame to ebb and
like a hot
flow with
plate.
the wind and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
also
Like a hot
with
plate.
people with those a little higher, you guys can kind of hear that little bit slighter sound effect somewhere else. But also you hear kind of like a mild like stomping might be a bit too heavy, but you hear something move deeper in the tunnels, maybe towards this way, not too far from you, but over. Oh shit, in that direction. I accidentally
If you're
clicked down,
pinging somewhere,
sorry.
we can't see it.
Yeah, you can't pick. I accidentally clicked a tab I had out, and I went out real funny. But you hear like almost like armor kind of clanking against itself as it kind of moves a little bit, like as if like, but it's whatever it is, it sounds heavy.
Oh, guys, are we gonna find Moritar?
I highly doubt it, but do keep your voice down.
Oh shit. And you start to see a bright light as Abaddon, you walk face to face with a creature of flame.
Oh,
Victorion, who is right behind you, goes, "Oh, it's Moritar's cousins."
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason I didn't have Victorion right close to you guys, there's a reason for it, and I didn't want to screw them
No,
over.
that's
But
fine.
since you said
The
that,
reason
no,
I-
since you said it into fate, I'll have it be.
The reason I did
or we
that
can
is because
retcon it,
it's
your
not.
choice.
The reason I did
I
that
see-
is because it's not the
That'd be
first time
funny.
that Victorion has been like, "Oh, this person looks remotely like Moritar. It must be related." It was like an iron golem or something, and like Victorion was like, "Oh."
I also don't see a reason why anyone would be left behind right now, just because
Yeah, I guess
we
they
are.
wouldn't be. I was considering having
Yeah.
Victoria be a little far back, but it's fine. Yeah, Victoria would say that.
We'll say
hint,
that
hint,
just like
nudge,
me,
nudge,
Abaddon, and Nornless are the front guard, and then everyone else, because they're not here as like a party, will just be behind us.
Victoria might maybe have fire vulnerability.
Oh, fuck.
It's fine.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. So Abaddon, the creature seems to be made of flame. It has partial armor with it and seems to have blades in hand. It looks to you and kind of slides its blades like against each other, making this kind of griddly sound, and then
Like
looks
scrubbing a
like it's
grill.
going to like looks like it's going to act violently against you, but it doesn't quite rush at you just yet.
In
I pull out the axe, Gluttonir,
in-
and. Oh, you first, you first.
in Primordial, Nornos will say, "We're looking for our friend. We're here to help the volcano. We've seen someone who looks kind of like you, but wearing a lot more armor."
Let me check something.
There's an entire possibility they don't understand me at all, but
Mhm.
I did say it in
So-
Primordial they might. It depends on
Primordial
the
is the language of elementals,
yeah,
usually.
that's assuming these guys are elementals.
I don't fucking know. I'm dumb as bricks. I can't believe I'm stupider than the fucking.
Oh, Ian was saying something.
Wow.
I thought he was just making
Wow.
noise.
Yes,
Yeah, as
sorry.
you're speaking, it's as your characters would be speaking and whatnot, it would start to respond back in like a saying, "Prove it" in like a really sizzly sound.
We brought a sword that'll keep the volcano from erupting and disrupting the natural ecosystem here. Abaddon, you do or don't speak Primordial?
I have no idea what you were saying just now.
Okay, no. I couldn't remember if you were the only one who didn't speak it.
No, that was the reason we got into that whole argument with the salamander thing,
Yep,
if you
yep.
remember.
Okay, yes, I remember now. I wasn't 100%. Got it.
Yeah,
And
that was a whole fiasco.
I'll switch to Infernal because do you speak Infernal? I hope you speak. You should.
Oh, just because I'm a devil. Very, very good.
Yes. Do you actually or not?
No.
Okay, then never mind. I wouldn't have done that.
I
Also,
speak giant, dwarvish, and common.
I switched to common and I'll be like, Mr. Abaddon, would you just hold the sword out in front of you as a display of the sword? You don't. I'm not
Oh.
saying hand it to him. Just show it.
Oh, partner, I'm not handing it to him, but I will show it.
Yes,
Also,
that's all.
Do tell them that this axe can summon water and tidal wave this whole room, so if they want to do something, they better fucking not.
I will consider it.
Alright, here's the sword. He waves it around a bit in its sheath.
Roll a strength check.
Were you invited?
Did you say were we invited?
Yes, that's where you invited.
Um,
And also, did you mention Mortar by name?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I think so.
alright.
And how do you know?
What's she
The
saying, mate?
name of Moratar.
We've been traveling alongside him for a while. I suppose you could say he invited us.
Do a persuasion check.
I'm great at those.
Are you?
No.
Or deception if you feel like he didn't actually invite you here.
No, I'm just gonna do persuasion. I rolled a 19, so slutty 20.
It must be true. An exception among exception among exceptions. May pass.
Excellent,
And they
thank you.
seem to kind of sizzle off a little bit.
Do you know which way he went?
That's for your own to figure.
Understood. Well, we've been given passage for the time being. We are going to peacefully keep our journey forward for now. Troubled, I have to assume that Gurk is with Mortar now, just in case you were wondering.
Yes, I kind of assumed that. I'm a little worried. Sorry, I assumed that, but what was the voice? I assumed. I assumed that. I am not fully sure if he's okay, but I would have to assume so.
Right, let's keep
I don't
on.
see any corpses that look like him.
That is true. Let's keep on our way, yes. Mortar, move. I mean, Abaddon. Oops.
Alright, let's go. Where to?
Forward for the time being. I don't know that we can go elsewhere.
Alright, let's follow the flaming turds.
They are not showing us the way, unfortunately. We need to find our own means to Mortar and Gurk.
Oh. Okay, wait, I've got an idea. Alright. Hold your ears closed, everyone, please.
No. We are still potentially being followed. There are potentially other things in here that would not allow us safe passage. Let us not, for the time being. We've also put, near half a day between our travels through the boat travel and taking a rest. We do not know how deep they may be.
Alright.
You just want to max out your mic again.
What? The accusations?
He didn't
Correct
say,
ones.
He didn't say I was wrong.
I will not speak further till I have a lawyer.
Oh shit! I didn't see people moving. Sorry.
Alright. Well.
Oh boy. Abaddon.
This is a hard one. You don't have a third hand for this one.
Let's see if you see them. Oh shit, let me do it.
There's something ahead of us.
So Abaddon, you see something else other than the creature's flame. The thing that some of you had heard kind of lodging around the room made of armor. You can kind of see to the north of you a little bit. Or actually, I don't know. Actually, you probably would be in that direction. You can see over in this direction. It seems to kind of peer out, albeit it looks a little odd. You can't quite. So actually, let's see. Can you see this well?
Yes, from
It
the
looks
angle.
it looks to be a large creature made of iron and armor and whatnot, but it looks to be missing something. It's hard to point out, but it doesn't have a clear head.
In a hushed whisper, Norlis will whisper to the group.
I believe we should try to avoid that. Both to avoid combat and to possibly do negative upon anyone following us who may run into it. Let's go west. Quickly and quietly.
Suggesting we act stealthily for the next.
Okay, you guys rolled stealth checks, correct? Or
No,
you
no,
didn't?
we haven't.
No.
Yeah,
No,
I'm saying we
In
should
that
do
case,
that
roll
now.
stealth check. This determine this thing hears you.
Yeah.
Because I established ahead of time, can we have advantage?
No, not the
That
whole
feels a bit
party. That's real strong.
Can I have
No.
advantage? Because I was trying to be stealthy this entire time.
That is
mean,
fair.
That could make sense for me, but I mean the main thing I could say is, since you mentioned it previously, the idea that you assumedly would have already been like. Actually,
have
wait
you
a
already?
second. If you guys had already been stealthing, then I feel like the fiery thing might not have seen you in time. Albeit, didn't Abaddon? Did you greet the thing initially?
No.
Nornalis did.
Oh, Norna's. Well, sorry. Did it act before? Sorry, I kind of acted within the assumption you guys, but you hadn't. But I guess you guys were intending to stealth, but didn't.
No, we weren't. We were
It's
just.
a roll
We were
stealth.
just
I
walking
wanted
about.
to stealth, but then we didn't stealth.
Correct.
Okay.
But Hazel is still stealthing.
I'm unsure if I should have acted within the context that you were stealthing, although we didn't roll it.
No worries.
Okay.
We'll just say that
But-
if we are
No,
rolling
because
stealth
we,
now,
we
we'll just roll
walked
stealth
onto
now.
the group and they instantly reacted to us that there was no stealth involved there.
Okay.
Yeah.
They said
So,
you said they started drawing their swords and Nornalis immediately started talking. There was no stealth involved. There was just walking upon the group. And we saw this thing from a distance, so upon seeing that, we decided to proceed stealthily in hopes to avoid being detected by it. I rolled a total of 17 for my stealth check.
Okay.
So-
So 17, Hazel, where are you at?
22.
Casual.
Okay. Ooh. Let's see. We got some high. If we get a low one, some really high ones can kind of fix that. So let's see. And now let's get with sardonyx and actually let's. Okay. What is? Let's see. What is Victorion stealth? And I'll just roll sardonyx real quick. Because if sardonyx, if we had 3 people that did pretty poor, then I'm gonna have to consider things. Let's see.
You have been promoted.
Okay, sardonyx got it. Ooh, sardonyx got an 18. Okay.
18, 17, 17, 22.
And then like traveled got like a 3, and Victorian got a 4, but I don't know what. I'm checking her like stuff real quick. So it would be stealth would be a. You have +7, so that'd be 11. Okay, that's not too bad. I'd say that Treble almost trips a little bit, but the rest you kind of able to, the people around him are able to kind of hold him to be so it doesn't make too much noise. And you guys are ultimately able to move past the spooky circumstance of the mysterious armored creature or whatever it may be. You guys can continue moving a little bit.
Yes. Quietly now. Let's continue.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you see what looks to be an exit from this initial chamber. Hmm. On the side, what am I gonna?
Gulp. Gulp.
Okay, so you guys do you guys continue on, or do you want to stay in this chamber a little more?
No, we'll continue on.
We'll continue on. This is the first path I think we've naturally come to. We'll see if this is anything, and then if not, we'll keep going back.
Okay.
We gotta find more, huh?
All right.
Oh, what in the hells?
Wait, can you not? Oh, wait. Can I? You guys seen this room or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's fine actually.
Yes.
Yeah, put you guys down over here.
Mortar's in the other room.
Yeah, Mortar's not in there.
The princess is in another castle.
Okay. This is maybe not the. How do I want to do this? Mortar, I'm gonna give you a choice. Would you like me to go back to you and describe certain things on your end, or would you prefer I don't do that?
Mortar's probably still napping, not gonna lie.
That's reasonable. Actually, you guys go
We enter
start
the
your...
chamber. We see Mortar laying
Oh,
fully
wait,
flat
no.
on their back in the middle of the room. We rush in, presuming them dead.
Wait. In actuality, you would have, yeah, unless you started your rest like way later, you probably wouldn't have been. But unless you,
Well, how long ago did they arrive to the island before we did?
4 hours.
So yes, if he did that, he would still be 4 hours into his long rest.
No.
I expect a lot.
4 hours, then they're awake because they took their long rest technically before we did.
Right, so he would have had an entire 8 hours to do that whenever the fuck he wanted while we were doing it.
Yes.
Okay.
So
he had 12 hours to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
So 4 hours have passed since Mortar has woken up from their rest.
Presumably.
And he has done fuck all. What a prick.
Okay. So before we
Making
get to this whole
sandcastles.
chamber, okay. So first of all, with that in mind, Mortar, would you like to? Since you're not going to be here next session, this might be significant. So do you want me to discuss this now, or we could do this after the session?
After the session.
Okay, because otherwise it's okay. If things worked a little bit fast. Things went a little faster than I thought it would. Okay. So before you guys fully enter this chamber, actually, actually, I do want to do a little bit of normal. Well, nah, sure, fuck it. I'll just keep it at that. I will get to Mortar a little bit, I think. But you guys, as you kind of are walking close to this chamber, do a perception check. Everyone.
Yay. 28.
13.
Okay. So ahead, before you kind of fully enter, you hear like, first of all, the temperature seems to increase as you kind of get closer, as you go down the tunnel. Additionally, you hear kind of bubbling sounds and the weird swishing movement as if something got outside of a liquid and has moved along it. What did you get, Norlis?
28.
Oh shit. Okay.
Damn.
Norlis, you hear something farther back. You hear like the sound of what almost sounds like movement back out the beach. It's very faint, but you can kind of hear something happening on the beach.
Sounds like none of the Buddhas made their landing out in the distance. Be wary of your front and your back, gentlemen.
Okay.
Heard.
Gotcha.
Now all of you can put your tokens down in this room. Down below here.
Up.
And there.
Oh, and I have this. Pop. Oh, that is not.
Oh, I didn't set Telf thing correctly. Oops.
I'm just like, oh, hey, look, it's Telth. I'll drag Telth on.
I hadn't finished it. Oops.
No worries.
Here,
You do not have to
then.
if you have all the tokens from the other place.
Yeah.
Are these bombs?
You aren't. Maybe. I'll think
Are those
about it.
there?
No, you think.
Like, this is a thing on the map that we see, but is this something actually in the room?
That's the one thing I gotta think about. I'd say they're probably. I would say what they actually are is they are large iron, slightly spiked things.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Cool.
They're-
I want to pick one up and throw it, but I probably don't have enough strength for it.
Yeah.
Damn you playing a dex build when I like playing big hammer swinging builds.
Okay. So you enter this chamber, and you see a pretty big creature. Let me get the right thing for it. Oh, come on, D&D Beyond, be better. I know what this thing is called, but for some reason it wants it to be like... Oh boy. Why is it doing this? Okay, whatever. You see these large, strange, almost reptilian creatures. They like have hands that kind of resemble a bullet, kind of, but obviously they're much larger. They are like very elemental looking. They have large black bodies with like bits of like magma kind of just flowing along them, like as if one of them looks like it may have recently just climbed out of the lava. Its inner body seems quite like heated and generates light of sorts. They look quite ferocious, and this one is particularly large. And they seem to look in your direction.
What in the fuck is that?
Additionally, Victorion looks to be a little uncomfortable in here, and looks to be sweating.
So too is the fur-covered one. Who is, like, doffed her hood, taking the mask off the side, and is, like, tying her fucking cloak into a crop top just to stay cool.
Okay. Wait.
I don't care, it provides me less armor. I need to look bitchin'.
Okay, I got a question for Abaddon.
Yeah.
Did Victorion ever describe their physiology to you?
No, they were always small and had wings.
Okay.
They're literally
Normalist-
melting now. They're a puddle.
Normalist,
Aw.
do a nature check, Normalist.
Okay. Let's roll green for nature.
Or maybe Arcana would maybe be acceptable, but one of those.
I roll a 17, so that's 22 for nature. It's higher for Arcana, but this is
Okay.
nature.
You don't know. So okay, before I even give you an answer, what do you believe Victorion to be?
Nice fairy.
Okay, that's good. That's a good answer. But what you know that frost fairies, ice fairies are not very common, but you know that they have some unique things that make them particularly funky. One of which is essentially what could be described as a water-based skeleton. It is different than the like hydrostatic skeletons of stuff like starfish in the sense that one, it's more of a vertebrate skeleton and very similar to like a fairy would like or a human would be in terms of like shape and functionality. But the big huge difference and along with others is that it's frozen. This means essentially that her bones can melt.
Oh,
Well, that's a charming
Now,
sight.
she could probably be okay-ish staying around here, but maybe not for too long. But if like a big like thing of steam or like heat, they weren't having the great time in the ash, but it wasn't too bad. But out here, it's in here they look uncomfortable, and Normalist, you would know enough that it's more than just like oh yeah, this is a hot room. This is a hot room that if they're staying here too long or a similar location, things could not be looking good for them.
Got it. I now have
Good.
that information.
Okay.
Could Abaddon use the axe of Litnir to spray like a little bit of mist on
So
Turn your
no,
sour
because
head
of
to
how
the
it
mist
functions.
setting.
But I will say, if you use the Axe of Glitnir in this room, it would do what it normally mechanically does. Which I promise you right now, if you did that, it would generate a lot of steam.
Oh, really?
Burns alive.
Which would
It
kill
would not
all
be.
of us.
Oh, really?
Abaddon was the big bad all along, kills us all by steam.
I always expected as much.
I thought that is just
Slander.
kind of. I mean, I would, but kind of racist.
Okay.
Hello, in Primordial. We're looking for Orator.
The creature raises its head, and it's long tail-like object. It's gonna be a tail. It seems to like slightly wag, and it kind of lifts its head, looks to you. It doesn't seem to do anything. Yeah, actually, it would make a sound like that. It's like a. What was the sound I did earlier? Like a. I can't quite remember. Yeah, it was like that. It was something like
Christ.
that. Yeah. But it makes
I
like a
wish I could
low
still do that.
groan. Maybe like a positive low groan. As you kind of like end, does seem to lift its head to kind of look at you as you said that.
We're friends of Mortar. Is it okay for us to pass? Please?
Your persuasion.
I'm great at those.
I'm
Oh. Every time I keep saying that, I'm rolling really decently. 16 plus 1, 17.
You're faking it so you make it.
I really am. I'm manifesting.
You're manifesting it, yeah.
The creature seems to kind of move a little bit and then climbs down from where it is and just dives into the magma, making a little splash. Nothing that would be like close enough to hit you or anything.
I don't know to take
But
that as a yes or
suddenly
no.
it vanishes.
Splish, splash, splash.
Everyone be careful. I don't know if
Is
that
the-
was a yes or no.
It then after a couple after a couple seconds, it reveals itself again, climbing up to here, and then kind of moves its body in a portion to create a bridge, wagging its like some of the lava off of it beforehand. It's definitely like a hot surface, but you could probably run across it. It wouldn't be too bad.
I suppose that it's a yes then.
That was easy.
Yes, talking does solve a lot of the problems often. Be careful and walk quickly, yes.
Just saying, I could probably carry half of you so that you don't have to touch the hot thing.
Small point of order. Is Telth the same kind of
No.
No.
being as Victorian?
She is a pixie. I thought about her being a frost-oriented pixie.
Ow, ow, ow,
Maybe.
ow, 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 ow.
She might have a little bit in that her, but she's mostly a normal pixie. Albeit, I'd say that she probably has maybe some aspects that are more ice-oriented to some degree, at least in terms of her visuals. But she's definitely you wouldn't. She probably doesn't necessarily have a whole full-on ice-based hydrostatic skeleton type thing.
Are they handling themselves okay inside my like in the
You know
folds of
what?
my armor?
I mean, they look to be like awake now. They look a bit uncomfortable. Actually, you know what? I'd say this: you don't actually know to the extent of if they were hydrostatic. You don't know the whole thing on that.
It's a
Mhm.
But
nice
they
armor.
don't look. They look to be woken up a little bit. Oh, actually, sorry. They look to be still asleep. They're sweating, and they don't look. They look like they could be uncomfortable, but they're still asleep. But they're definitely sweating.
I like pinch the front of my shirt and like fan myself, also trying to fan them as I walk forward.
Okay.
And I will quick bolt across this.
Okay.
Am I wearing shoes? I am wearing shoes.
So you guys see the smaller one also kind of act as a bridge. Not as great, but it's still that. You guys, the things on. You see 4 strange objects which look to be forges. Abaddon,
Yes.
roll a history or arcana check at advantage.
Ooh, history. Ah.
Oh shit!
Good.
Oh, nat 20,
So-
baby!
Good stuff.
This is almost 100% something that either was made by your clan or a grouping of people, Goliaths and Fire Genasi, who worship Surtur prior to the full formation of your clan. Just for context, your clan is known as the Sunder Clan. However, it had a different name prior to the war 1,000 years ago. Most of the Gresshelm human clans kind of either reformed around that time or had like different names. A lot of the Goliath clans had did not have had like, you know, names that did not relate to like the ancient warrior. Your clan is like an exception of a Goliath rule, where they renamed themselves the Sunder clan. Just for whatever.
Mhm.
But the main thing here is that these forges are almost certainly like of your clan or related, as well as a lot of the other architecture in the room. The 2 like gateways into the room.
This is.
It
Yeah.
You would have known or had indication to believe that around near where Flagerberg is, not too deep, but around that little area, and then along on this island, there was always beliefs that there was at one point people of basically basically Goliaths who worship Surtur. There was at some point people from your clan. What eventually kind of happened is the people that were living around there were mostly nomadic, at least the ones at Flagerberg. And Flagerberg kind of ended up being settled, and the kind of Goliaths and Fire Giants that were there kind of pushed out. But whatever the case for Mount Flager has mostly for the last 1,000 years or so been mystery for various circumstances. You've heard all sorts of stuff, but ultimately, this is what proves it. There were definitely people who worship Surtur here. Most likely of your clan or associated. Which is a big deal.
Nonetheless.
With that in mind,
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
I would like Abaddon, and you can use boom points for this if you want, because this is a huge thing. Albeit I think you already kind of had context for it. Do an insight check.
On,
And actually,
on
so
himself.
Abaddon, do an insight check. But also, if someone else wants to, they can, within the context that you guys realize that Moritar went ahead. They're similarly farther ahead here. You talking about knowing Moritar has somehow given you free context to go further here, from both the fire elementals and these big like monster creatures.
I rolled an 18.
And you've just seen and Abaddon has just seen. I guess first of all, with Abaddon, would you have told the rest of the group what I told you or not?
I think he was in the process
Yeah.
of saying.
Yeah.
I should have given you some time to speak. Sorry, go on. speak if you wish to.
Numerous,
Yes,
you have very good memory, yes?
I like to think so at times, yes.
Remember these words and write them down when we are out of here. The crucible we're standing in right now is proof that my people, the few reason, first clan of the Sunder, came from here. The clan of the Fire of Surta took its first steps here.
I'll be certain to catalog that. Absolutely.
This is monumental. It's,
You're
We're
certain,
witnessing his.
Yes.
We are witnessing history.
are you certain of this?
we have found the roots of the Earth Tree. We have
The
found
what?
it of Yggdrasil. We have found the roots of Yggdrasil. My roots.
So,
I cannot believe it.
okay.
Fuck.
There's two things I want to get. First, Abaddon.
Rolled
Go
really
to
well in his insight
his
check.
secrets.
Oh no, not the sequence!
The
This will be rather brief.
Oh no, I'll be back very soon.
Oh no!
Oh no, this is terrible.
You better not get my house dirty.
I don't think we
Fucking
can.
your house, bestie. I think you might be squatting.
See, if you want to clean up all this ass everywhere, fucking chain smoker.
Abaddon walks in. Yeah, you don't get my house too dirty.
Hey, bro, get your dog. Hey, bro, get your dog. It's okay, he don't bite. Yes, he do, bitch. The fuck?
Yeah, you make sure to wipe your feet before coming. Oh, you didn't, did you?
I wiped my feet on the.
I put
Dog.
booties on. It's fine.
On one hand, I really do think it makes sense that as a civilized race, Tabaxi would wear boots. But I also really think it'd be cute if I had like digitigrade legs. So I'm just like very careful about where I step. Because I also had the mental image of a Tabaxi acting like a cat when it's got like something on its feet. So it's like the very like awkward stippy steps.
You just have wrappings on.
No, she has a boot. I made that canon when we were in the Paladinary, that she had a boot that she used to
Right,
do
I
that one
forgot.
trap.
Yes, I recall
Yeah,
this
she
now.
canonically has non-animal legs because
I mean,
I'm a coward.
You can have animal legs and wear boots.
I mean, hang on. I need to look at a diagram of digitigrade legs to see if I can make that mental sense.
I mean, have you seen like it's just less rigid like material. Like
Here,
except
I
like
can
the
share
actual
my
top
screen.
part.
Like, or
Yeah, I guess it would just be a boot that pushes itself further back instead of going straight up. Yeah, that can make sense.
Oh my god.
Now, back to what I was saying. Given the stuff at Mortar, and now Abaddon, you're putting two and two together that this place definitely has something to do with your clan. Based on 18 insight, you think that the Fire of Surtur, or a good chunk of it, was stored here. Not necessarily in this room per se, but in the volcano somewhere. And that's when I say that when you think about it, it's less of a oh, it's here kind of thing, and more like a given what you know about Moritar and their existence, this gives you all the reason to believe that Moritar all this time has had a portion or the entirety, you're not fully sure, of the Fire of Surtur in them, or they have a relationship with it either by their creation or some other means of it. But it's becoming little like you aren't like 100% sure on this, but a lot of the leads have been pushing it, and this is a huge one.
More time, you fucking prick.
You literally never asked.
You wouldn't have told us if we did.
I fucking did. Remember when Ace knocked me down and you were talking about Surtur? I literally fucking asked you the next.
Yeah, you
sentence.
asked it. You asked it. Yeah, there's a big giant flaming fan right there.
Yeah, you fucking deflected. You can't. You can't. I fucking love you. You prick. I fucking love you. Cool face.
How you getting cold face in here?
I said cool face. I'm sweating my balls off.
Okay. So you guys, do you continue out of this room into the next,
Presumably.
or do you want to? Okay. Or if you wanted to continue speaking about it, you can.
No, we were
This
just
is
moving.
gonna be the next funky next couple sessions. Okay. Let me just find one thing. So I meant to grab a Gurk's token. Okay. So now that we have it in here, you guys can. I'll drag in your token for the sake of things. So you guys keep walking.
Yes.
And the tunnel keeps going for a little while. And the area starts to get a little cooler, which is a little weird. But not too much cooler, but enough that it's like weirdly cool, but not like in the context of you being in where you are. You see a couple pipes and things on walls and whatnot, which might make it seem like perhaps this is like water or air cooled somehow, which in that case, why? And eventually you come to a wooden door, which upon opening leads you into a space many of you probably were not expecting. I'll drag you on.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you guys are now in what seems to be what you can only describe as a laboratory.
Ooh.
You see Gurk kind of like sitting, moving along, and they seem to be working on some things, and they look up to you. Finally, or okay, I'm having difficulty doing consistent voices, albeit I'm not fully sure how I want to go about this guy. Finally, because I don't know if I want to do a tribalistic or not, because they're kind of
Give them a little
What?
they're a
refined.
little bit of both.
Do what feels natural. See if it doesn't have to be forced.
Oh,
Okay, because
finally.
the example I was given was like of Kiana from League of Legends, which is kind of hard to like been masculinize a little bit, but and also don't
Oh,
remember like off the top of my head what that how she sounds, but
You're fine.
yeah, you're finally here. Oh boy. Well, Moritar has locked themselves away in the room over there. They're working on something. I think they peered beyond the great door past us, and they were able to open it, something I could not do. And they came across some type of profound realization and has been working on something since. I can't. I couldn't even like. They just stopped talking to me after a certain amount of time.
Still up here, yes.
Well, I don't. Oh boy. This is a bit weird. I need to know something.
Okay.
cool.
Were you guys being followed?
Possibly.
It's
No,
not
no,
out of the question.
Not directly.
Past here is a larger room. If we were to fight whoever they are, that would be our best option. Or maybe the room prior, because of we're assuming the magma creatures. However, this space is a genuine treasure trove. I have never seen anything quite like it. This is the most. I mean, I'm not a scientist or anything like, or an artificer or anything like that, or I'm not a wizard, but I haven't seen anything like this. There are hundreds of potions, like machines and for creation I have never seen before. I've looked through drawers and seen hundreds of jewels. This is something I can't even comprehend. And if this base was damaged, it would be a genuine loss.
It might be in our best interest then to make use of the room before us. If the magma creatures are, at the very least, allies of Moritar, they may be allies of ours in a coming fight. The environment would benefit us as well because we would have a choke point because they can only either jump across, find their own way across, or attempt to wade through the lava, which they wouldn't do because they're not stupid.
Okay. Some of the doors into okay. There's some other things we can use to help us out, but I'll say this. Mortar clearly was waiting for you guys to do the final, to go fully into that final room, into the caldera. But I don't fully know. But they'll be working on that thing for a while. I don't even know what to say. I don't know to what extent you guys are, but if we have time to prepare, we should. But if what's his name? Shit, what was his not
Kodran?
Dorak? Yeah, Kodran. Dorak's mage is still right. Is following you closely. We gotta figure out shit fast.
I suppose let's look for any potions that could be of aid to us in immediate conflict and station ourselves in a preparatory fashion in the prior room then. It'd be the,
Okay,
as Hazel said, it'd be the smartest area to do battle if need be.
Okay. Well, so first of all, by the way, Mortar, if you did want to speak out and yell and be like, "No potions, don't steal," you could. But otherwise,
Moritar's too
you won't
focused,
do
and there's
that.
a lot of clanging going on in this room.
Yeah. Yes.
Bonk, bonk, bonk.
Clang, 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 clang. I would
Also-
like to look for anything of interest once we are free to do so.
You are free to do so now. Let me just make sure this is.
Moritar might have left like a note on the door, being like, don't steal.
There's that's the place he called the artificery. There's a door over here. He unlocked. He took a lot of stuff out of that room. That room has a lot. It's a lot of potions and shit. It has a lot of the other crap. Okay, in here I'll open it. for you
What
guys.
is this? Can I discern what this? Like, is this oil on the ground or something? Like, what is this? Because I noticed there was also some of it over here.
It looks to be water. And it looks rather hot. It's hard to tell if it would be like a hot tub or like, sauna-like quality or boiling. It's not quite clear. But definitely there seems to be some tubing systems that look to utilize that and perhaps other water to cool down this area. Girk would be like, we could walk, there's a way to kind of climb along that area, or if you can, it is walkable, it's not very comfortable. Though, if you stand in that water for too long, your legs will go red, but that is the way to the next chamber, which is where the great door is. Oh boy.
Then yes, we should find everything we can make use of, and then find a way to Moritar to finalize our plan.
Okay.
Mortos is in the room. We're going to prepare ourselves in the previous chamber where the lava creatures were.
I meant preparing ourselves with anything we can find here, and then letting him know that we are here and go to the room with the lava.
Ah, yes.
Or do we need to not interrupt him while he's doing that and protect him?
He very well might not respond just from the sounds of it. He's extremely
making
focused.
He's making a
Clang,
device that deal with things. I will say, it may have been worth to. We'll see how things go, but Tearfling could possibly be of use for that, depending on how it works, how I think it does. I'm not quite sure though.
For combat or mortar?
For Moritar's purpose. I don't know, she should be fine without it, but it may involve it later on. I'm not fully sure.
Understood.
I should also let you know, and he stops speaking for a second and looks. So Victorion and Issa would be in the room. Issa would be weirdly staring towards the door, towards past here, where mortars lock themselves up. Now, this is also a session I kind of wish Victoria was here for, but well, next session we'll get a little bit of that. But it's almost as if there's something of interest to Issa past that door, but it's hard to kind of view what that could be. Okay. Normalness.
Yeah.
The room you're in there are lots of things. You see basically a desk with a drawer out, and there's lots of scrolls in it. You see like several bookcases full of like potions. Some are labeled, some aren't. This place looks like it was both like, in some parts of this area it looked like, yeah, things are a little bit messy, and other parts look super organized. And it just seems to be that perhaps stuff happened. Who knows? It's hard to. It's not that people necessarily raided the place, because that doesn't seem like it at all. It more so seems like perhaps there were 2 people living here or something like that, and they just had different ways of managing things. Albeit it's hard to quite say that's either. It looks to be that perhaps just for circumstance there's a couple bios of books.
Okay.
Meta-wise, it's just a map.
I'm especially looking for anything with a label or clearly
Okay.
displayed to be a health potion that's in the familiar violent red of a healing potion.
Okay. Do a investigation check.
Does this, one moment, is this within 1 foot of my vision technically?
So,
It could be.
oh boy, that's an interesting way of doing it.
Well, I'm asking because of
so-
the eye. If
Yeah.
it's within a foot of my vision, I roll an investigation with advantage.
Yeah, that's kind of, I kind of base that off the eye of unit seeing. So think of it like having magnifying glass vision for that. But that would also, just within the context of you just rolling around, it would let you kind of look at labels really fast, like it a better means, I guess, to some extent. I don't know. But yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I mainly meant for that to be like if you're trying to look at Scrimshaw or something.
Got you.
Which
Okay. I'll keep that in mind then. Total of 18.
Or look at all things. Okay. Oh, 18. Okay, so you find what looks to be a couple potions. There seems to be one thing that looks to be crudely labeled, but is definitely as a potion of supreme healing, and it's big. It's actually, I would say, it is this thing. It is this big old potion up here.
Okay.
It's still holdable in one hand, but it is a big potion. It looks like it's viscous enough that the liquid would get down your system pretty quickly.
Okay.
But like, it is it's a big one. Additionally, other than that big notable thing, you seem to find about just to confirm, you said an 18?
Yes.
Okay. You also find 2 potions of greater healing. Actually, yeah, sorry, let me restate that. I would say just by circumstance, you kind of look around and you do notice, like, on the shelf there would have been an empty space that, like, kind of had some stuff on it, which would indicate that perhaps, like, some potions were poured out to combine into another one, and there'd be little, like, arrows in other circumstances would lead you to realize that big one's over here. But otherwise, looking at that small shelf, you would have seen about 3, like, just normal healing potions, and then a potion labeled greater healing. There'd be actually, yeah, I think there'd be 2 of those. There'd be 2 greater healing potions.
Okay.
Just on this rack. There may be more in other places. While you're doing that, as a reminder, there are a bunch of other potions in this room, and there's like books there's a bookcase, and there's a desk of here which seems to have an open drawer that seems to have a bunch of scrolls in that open drawer. While Oris is doing that, Hazel, what are you doing?
I want to look for anything of not just value per se, but like things that will help us. She's not just being greedy. She's also like, okay, is there anything in here that looks like it could maybe help us in combat?
So, first of all, if you, depending on how much time you have, you're not sure how much time, but you could, if you had any means to. Okay, wait. There's something else I probably should get. Okay, there's something else I just remembered that's gonna be fun for Gurk and Abaddon, but I'll get back to it in a second.
Okay.
It does look like some of the machines in here have been being used, and when you did get in here, it did look like Gurk was using this. Okay, which room do you want to focus in on? I'll give you a couple choices. You can either, I guess you could focus on. You're not gonna find too much in the main room, for most part, but unless you're looking at some books. Would you like you to do the artificery, the room that Nornless is in, or this room or below? Because this
What
room has
is
some
this
funky.
room?
Okay, you
Like, would
see.
Gert tell me?
You can ask Gurk. You can ask him.
I don't think I know. Gert, was it? What is this room down
Yeah,
here? Is there anything else of note down here?
I will farther down in that room. There's golems, which are mostly asleep, I think. But in the immediate room, I don't fully know what to describe that place. Some of those tubes are being just these big barrels of glass and iron. Oh, sorry, big barrels of glass and iron. I'm stuck at doing this. And simply put, some are empty, others are being used for purposes I think relative to hydration or heating of this place, and others are well, I think you should see for yourself. And it kind of opens up a gate and kind of gets close to some of them. One of them seems to have like, it's full of fluid and it has what looks to be some like strange floating stuff in it, and some of it kind of looks like intestine. And you look down at the label and it says Goratar.
With a G?
Yeah.
I look at the one directly beside it.
That one seems to be not have water in it. And it has a tiny flickering little flame, which almost has a little face. That one's labeled Otar.
I immediately point this out to Nornless and Abaddon.
The fuck
I-
do you?
I don't know what the fuck's going on in here, but you guys need to see this. So someone smarter than me, come take a look at this.
Just
Ah,
look
but
at
I-
food supplies right now. We aren't really in the time to investigate.
Fuck, you're right. Okay. I would like to then spend my time investigating this. If I'm allowed to quote change my
Sure.
mind, since I didn't actually dead set on this one, I'd like to do
Okay.
the artificery. You said it was.
Albeit there were some funky stuff below there you could focus on if you want to. Yeah, it could be there.
The thing is, you said golems. I don't think Hazel has anything she can do with a golem.
And she could
with
wake
here-
them
with
up and
this room-
try to convince them to help. Yeah, okay.
This room might have reagents or like bombs I can
So,
throw or something like that.
This looks like a room that definitely has some storage stuff in here. There's definitely potions and whatnot, but there's a lot of stuff that looks like it's made for like creating things. Perhaps magic items, for instance, other shit. It's unclear if you have enough time to use it. A lot of these are strange devices you're not quite sure of. However, you can definitely search the potion shelf for some of the other stuff for things. You could do an investigation check. However,
is there a
there
finished
also
product already in here?
you aren't. It'd be. There seems to be some type of like final like potion or reagent or something that seems to be like produced, but it looks to be like something that was been taken. As in, it looks like this place was very recently used, possibly by Moritar.
I see. I have zero knowledge. I am very
You could
stupid.
search the potion shelves if you wished, but
I desperately want to try to make something, but she doesn't even know how to start it. She has no idea what she's doing. I think I kind of want her to fuck up. I want her to try to do something cool and fuck up.
wait, did I not give you proper dark vision 120? Let me fix that.
No,
I know
sorry,
what.
I'm
I know
fine.
why I fucked it up. I know I screwed it up, unless I didn't save it correctly. I don't think.
Gotcha.
I don't want her to fuck up per se. I do think that she would want to try to do something. I don't know how that's going to go though.
So I'm not going to tell you how much time you have left, but consider, given the fact that, well, you're relying on the fact that like, if they do get inside, they have to, if you guys take enough time, obviously those big like magma lizard things will stall them.
Mhm.
And but you have to decide if you want to fight here or fight in there or fight in a different chamber. But if they're chasing after you and you can kind of give them the indication that like you have that they prioritize you over this place, maybe if fighting in a different place other than this would be good, at least with regard to minimizing damage to this place. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I believe the thought was to spend like a minute or two in here quickly gathering supplies and then positioning ourselves outside in a stealthy or
Okay.
defensive manner.
That's what I was assuming, but if you
Yeah,
guys did take the time to do stuff here,
No.
then that's what would happen and what I was saying.
Then I think she would want to try to find like not healing potions, but like harming style, like stuff I can throw at people, because she doesn't want to be up close.
No, good. Let me check something. Okay. Also, I'll just say there seems to be potions for like magical potions, but there also seems to be stuff that you would recognize as like for creating poisons and poison stuff as well.
I don't know if I can poison a soul knife.
Given the fact you have
I am now
normally
attuned
I'd
to
be
it,
like,
yes.
yeah, but given the ancient weapon thing you have now, maybe. Or maybe if you find the right poison.
Sure,
but-
I'll look for a poison or a blade oil.
Wait,
That's
wait,
what I'll
wait,
look
wait,
for.
wait. I don't want to throw you into that circumstance. Do you want to focus
Okay.
on poisons or do you want to focus on throwables?
Poisons.
Okay.
Poisons / blade oils. Investigation check then?
Yeah.
It's not worth a luck point. It's not worth a luck point. That's a 4.
Oh
is
boy.
it?
It's not worth a luck point. Because with my luck, I'll roll something garbage. I find nothing.
Yeah, you find like you aren't quite sure if you were looking the right place. You find a lot of like things to make poisons, but you start to look at some of the other stuff and you aren't sure if it's just like you not getting it or you not understanding the terms. And halfway through, you're like, is this in Draconic? Is this in a different language? Because you can't quite read any of them. You're not sure what's what, but you mostly just find like, and it just gets confusing. Okay. While you're doing that, Abaddon, Gurk is kind of moving towards you. Abaddon, was that your name?
Yeah, yes. Yes, it is, dog.
Okay. I was just talking just a second ago to Tartak. They call him Tartak? That's not his name. Sorry, I just spoiled something maybe from many sessions later. Not really. That's just a named character I have. I spoke to Troubled. Could you humor me for a second?
Humor you?
Yeah, I've made some things recently because I've had a good space to do so, and you're from Furies, right?
Yes. Yes.
You're more of a fight guy per se than a craftsman, right?
I deconstruct what others construct.
Okay. Are you familiar with the I'm someone who's had some experience up there. I've lived in there for a while, and I know that you're familiar with me. Actually, why did I even say that? He knows you. Why did I even say the whole, are you familiar with? Okay, he already knew that, sorry. I know that you're of that clan, and I know some circumstances. You wear an eye patch right now. That means you don't have a glass eye, right?
No. No. You wouldn't have.
Yeah, I made some. It's a familiarity. I have the right stuff in here. I had the right time.
Oh,
Would you like one?
You're making me blush. Of course I do.
Okay. I have I made one that I think you should be able to see out of. I don't know if it will work. And I made
Doesn't-
another one that probably will work, which will explode when you say a certain word.
Give me the exploding one first.
Okay.
Goodness.
Oh, wait, actually, no. Wait. What am I doing? Give me the seeing one, and I'll take the other ones in my pocket.
Okay. He gives you one that he's like, it looks to be that he kind of like, there was already something kind of here that he kind of formed a little onto. This guy is like, you know that basically, your people and some other Goliaths have this skill of magical glasswork that they have found various uses for, but applying magic to glass is something that's kind of hard to do. But when it's small enough, like, it can kind of function. And for a little while, there was like ideas of magical marbles and whatnot. But the whole idea of a magical glass eye is something that caught on because it functioned with the skills they had and other stuff. And that's like the basic kind of run of why it exists. But the point is, you now I don't know, I was rambling a little bit. Sorry about that. I forget my point. But either way, he hands you the eyes. And he has a piece of paper out with the second one. The first one seems to like, if once you put it in, you can't quite see out of it as well as your other eye, but you can and you aren't sure if it needs a full attunement or what, but you can kind of see out of it. It's really weird, but you can. It's not. It looks like it definitely might not be done yet. And it's also like it looks like it's just recently cooled down. But you can kind of see out of it. You still have, I'd still say you would have disadvantage on like sight checks, but it looks like it's like you aren't sure if it just needs time to fully like
Just
articulate or what.
well,
And the other eye he gives you, okay. Oh, it's like, okay, I know how to. You have to set it. Once you put it in, you say the word once, like in a whisper, and that will set it. And the next time you say that word, it will blow up. So make sure you have something good in mind. Have you used one of these before?
I yes,
Oh,
by
okay, good.
accident.
Normalist, you're kind of going through stuff and moving back and forth. You hear that Abaddon has used an exploding eyeball before, or maybe you didn't even hear the exploding part. You just heard that like it's just canon. That did happen. Um, you did hear that they've used an eyeball, which it seems to be they described had some type of property relative to combustion.
Okay.
Okay, which is of interest. It's not something you quite expected from Abaddon, but it is that. Okay, well,
Alright.
when you're ready to do it. I don't. Keep in mind, I'm not. This is a skill I've acquired. I'm by no means a master, but I decided to make use of my time. I have a couple on me for other stuff, but
I'll say it like this, mate. Delivery's been very dry as of late, so I'll take anything that I can get.
And I probably should show you something. He takes off his mask, and you look at it, and both of his eyes are glass eyes.
Oh.
These ones are real good. I took some time working on these, but I got a lot of help. And he puts the mask back on. Also, his face is like he's got some scars here or there, like, and like part of his lip is missing. But he doesn't look as ugly as you might thought he could have. But like there's some like some battle damage, but mainly the glass eyes are a little jarring just because they look a little spooky. Like they look like slight spiral formations. Okay.
I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty.
I will say next session. This is a good time to end. I don't want to go too far long.
No, please.
Okay. couple things I'd like to briefly discuss, and then we'll get to boon points.
Okay.
So next session, or maybe overall over the weekend or other stuff, I will discuss some certain things with some of you, mainly people who aren't here. And next session, the start of it, we maybe do a continuation of you guys getting stuff from here, just so Amethyst and Victorian will have a good chance. Moritar will not be here next week,
Bismillah.
so keep that in mind. That's in
Question.
what?
Will Moritar be here the week after?
Yes.
Yeah.
Considering
That's
this
important.
seems like it's a very integral point in our story, it might be beneficial that we put off a week, so that way we can try to make sure everyone is here for something this important.
I think the thought is we're going to be doing whatever we're doing in the next chamber while he's working on what he's working on, and the week following we'll be coming back to him as he finishes.
That's what
Is
I
that
had
the
in mind.
intent? Okay, never mind
yeah,
then.
so I will say if Moritar wanted to, I mean, I feel okay. So I'm in a situation where I feel kind of iffy, given there's certain stuff where I have certain characters who more obviously like there's plot. I will say this, I was for a good bit considering canceling next section, but because of how this session went, and based on my plans, I think we're gonna play next session. However, I do want to be clear. I'm always iffy about canceling a session if a player can't make it and they're important to it, because I don't want to necessarily spoil things too far ahead, because you guys might not be expecting it. But also, there's like, I have people miss sessions all the time for sessions that are kind of sometimes a big deal, sometimes not, and I always feel a little awkward about doing it sometimes, or like playing or not playing, and so I try to use good judgment when doing these things and be careful about it. I don't want to, because obviously we have plenty of sessions where people are missing, and those sessions end up being like significant or whatnot. But if it's a session that I feel is going to be particularly important to one particular character, I probably would like cancel it if it's really a big deal. But I tend to want to be careful about how things go though. And this is also from the context of me planning and making things amends to fix this issue, right? Okay. Other than that, I think we can start boon points. We can start with Mortar if you want.
I'll give my boon point to Abaddon for yelling very loudly and staying awake.
Yeah, you stayed awake for a full session.
Yeah.
Which is funny because today I had 3 hours of sleep.
Oh my god,
Uh-oh.
poor bastard.
That's the secret amount. Get it every time.
I just drank 7 energy drinks.
Oh my god.
I'm getting kidney stones 100%.
Oh god, same bestie. Yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah.
Want to go next, Hazel?
See, the thing is, I feel like I was like very present and like everyone really brought their A game this session, but I have like nothing really stands out to me to give out a boon point for.
You could give
Everyone
one to me
really
if
present
you want.
gave me sat there quiet 90% of the session.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll give it to Moritar for the fact that they were like basically unable to do much of anything during the session.
I'll give
Yeah.
my
So, yeah.
boon point to Hazel for being cognizant and remembering a crucial part of their backstory enough to retroactively turn back time to go back and address it.
I'm just
And-
sorry I didn't bring it up at the time.
No, it was a really cool scene, especially with how Abaddon enhanced it with trying to feed the weird Eldritch bird.
Yeah, if he didn't try to feed that thing bread, we wouldn't have seen that hand, probably.
So my boon point goes to Hazel for that one because it was cool to see how that scene played out, and I'm glad to have seen it.
Radical. Thank you. I think that leaves
Abaddon.
Moritar?
Abaddon.
Abaddon.
Yeah, but
My boon point also goes to Hazel because I just had a feeling that we had a lot of fun interactions this session.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Especially with the intelligence.
What is your intelligence stat? I have to know.
10.
God damn it.
Like legit, I went to primary school into 7th grade, then I just dropped out and started hacking shit angrily.
I'm going to give my boon point. Oh god, who do I want to give it to? Boy, I'm conflicted. I kind of want to give it to Abaddon, because I liked there's some not like huge moments, but I liked that they were able they made use of what kind of of the stuff I kind of set up for them. Let's get an elite moment in the lava chamber. I also like what I really like about Abaddon as a sorry, well, Cheesecake as a player is that I can do stuff like bring certain things back from the past, like mentions of things, and I feel like it hypes you up a little bit, and I enjoy that.
Dude, I got fucking major hype when it comes to callbacks.
Yeah, that's something I really like in play. Like, it's hard to necessarily do a lot, but like it makes me happy when people like remember certain things, especially if it's like because it makes me feel like certain things have a more special quality to them or are more like noteworthy. But I don't know, it's fun.